From Klein Field at Manitou on the St. Olaf College campus in Northfield, it is the home opener for Ole football. A long-running rivalry will end today, at least for the moment, due to the upcoming schedule change. But the Norse from Luther College in Decorah, Iowa, come here to Northfield to play the Oles. There's a lot of members that used to be Oles that are on that coaching staff, including the head coach Crochet that we'll hear from in just a moment. Roy and Mark in the broadcast booth here at Klein Field at Manitou. And, home opener should be a fun Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, and a really good chance for the Oles to hopefully not only get a victory, but just look at kind of the historic record between the teams, kind of where teams have been last year in particular. The result of the game a year ago, which I think was something like 52 to 21. 52-21. I think Coach Killing would love it if he could get a sizable lead in the first half and get a chance for a lot of his very talented freshmen to get a chance to play. A lot of them didn't get to play in a relatively close game against Northwestern last week.
That kind of leads us right into our interview with Coach Crochet, because the Oles have a ton of fourth and fifth year players. The Norse, on the other hand, are filled with freshmen, and here's what Coach Crochet says about getting those young guys into the flow.
Yeah, it's always interesting when you have a young crew and your average age is about 19. A lot of energy, great effort, a lot of passion. Anything introduce something new, it's always a little slow and ugly. But it seems to be, that second practice or the second time our guys do stuff is always a really good get back day. So our energy and our tempo has been great. Execution a little slow, but that second day has been really fun. And so we've got a really good week of practice and excited. Our guys are really excited to play someone else. I'll say that.
What style are you looking at based on the personnel you have? What will be kind of a game plan to the season for you?
Yeah, we're really player driven, and offensively we feel we're young up front, and so we're going to need to find ways to have some success early. Running the ball with our backfield's really talented. We got a couple of receivers that we're really excited about. We need to get the ball to, but we want to make life a little bit easier for those guys to keep it a little bit simple. Defensively, we've got a really experienced back end, and excited to see those guys fly around. And we're young and talented in the box, but we're pretty dynamic there. So I'm excited to see those guys run around and make some plays and just play aggressive and let the back end make them right. But and the simplest way we want to build around our guys. We've got some different personnel within offense and defense, so when we have some different guys out there, we'll do some different things.
Scouting report on the Oles from your perspective?
They're good. They are good. Exciting to see some of the guys that I've got a chance to coach and recruit or come back for a fifth year. This has got to be probably the most fifth year St. Olaf has ever had. So there's some young men on that team that played a lot of football. They play really confident. Defensively, that back end is really, really talented, and their box is a little bit younger. They're trying to figure out who they are, but man, they play hard. You can see how they pursue the ball. When the ball declares, you got all 11 going, and they're doing a really good job at offensively. Still really talented with Theo leading the way. And, you've got some deep play threats with McNerney and Hammonds, and then Yo's got Old Faithful Derek Hansen, who's always available. And Braden Benz, he's a quiet one that doesn't get a lot of credit, but will make a big play when you give it to him. So I know they want to run the ball. We're trying to establish it, but they're pretty talented.
Are you sorry to see that this will be the last game in the series, at least for the time being?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, James and we're going to find a way to get it. I'm optimistic we'll get it back. There's some out of our control that we can't do. But no, this is really important to me and important to Luther that we continue this. I talked to our players about a really huge moment in the history of this game in 2004.
Rosters for both
that when I
games
played
are
at St.
available
Olaf,
by
we talked
using your
about a lot.
smartphone.
Luther was up 31 points, and St. Olaf came back on 32-31, and that was a really defining moment for that program. And we need to get back to week one, and fall camp should end with a Luther St. Olaf game. Like, that's what it's about. So we're going to work to get that back.
Coach, I appreciate your time, and good luck in Northfield on Saturday.
Thanks, Roy. I appreciate you.
All right, Coach Trochet entering his third season. A quick reaction to what he had to say, Mark?
Well, just to clarify on the reason that St. Olaf and Luther aren't able to continue the rivalry, at least for the near future, the MIC next year is going to a 9-game format. So instead of 8 as we have this year, there are 2 non-conference games. Now we're going to have 9 games in the conference and just 1 non-conference. And we're committed to playing Northwestern next year in the opener, and then it gets a little bit complicated thereafter.
All right. Well, of course, time will tell regarding the series. But what we're most concerned about is a recap of the win over Northwestern and a look ahead on today's game with the Ole's head coach, James Killian. Coach Killian joins us now as the home opener has arrived with Luther, but let's backpedal a week to under the lights up at University of Northwestern. The club comes away with a 39-21 victory over the Eagles. What's your reaction to the win?
I was happy definitely the way we started, and then and the way we finished. And in between wasn't bad either. But what was really great is when the game got tight in the late third quarter, early fourth quarter, we just, as the game ebbed and flowed, we seemed to stay pretty even keel and not get too high or too low ourselves. So that was really encouraging to see, and I thought that we made some plays on all 3 phases of the ball. We got some turnovers. We turned the turnovers into points. We had a goal line stand that we kept them out of the, it was first and goal from the 3, and I don't think they got any points on that drive. So those were huge, huge turns in the game. I was happy with the way that we behaved during the game. There was some pushing and some shoving, and we didn't get any penalized for any unsportsmanlike conduct, which is important to me. So all in all, I think it was a great first game. It was competitive. We got a chance to evaluate some guys. Some guys got their first starts, and they responded well. And so hopefully that's a sign of things to come throughout the season.
And the way that you finished with 17 points, I think it was 17 points in the fourth quarter, how much of a statement or how good is that to see?
It's really good. Like I said, when the game got a 1 point, it was a 1 point, we were ahead by 1, and they had the ball, and we turned them away, and then we went down and scored, and we kept the ball on the ground the last couple drives pretty significantly, which I thought was really good. When you can run the football, when everybody knows you're going to run the football, and we kind of just found one little play we liked and just ran it over and over. It wasn't that maybe great to watch, but it's fun to coach in those type of games.
As far as the running back situation, you've got several guys that have a little bit of experience, but when it comes to replacing a guy like Jordan Embry, you can't replace a guy like that.
Oh, right. So, obviously we ran at least 3 backs during the course of the game. Gus is a guy that's just continued to work and get better, and I praised him after the game and early this week. Just last year, he was our 3rd or 4th back behind a true freshman. Really, his path to the field was not great, bar an injury or something like that. But he just continued to improve and get better, and just the way it worked out, he's now, we need him, and he's ready. Loudon Perlman's in the same category. Got his first start at right guard. And, we were hoping maybe Max Coons came back for a 5th year. His backup maybe would have come back and all that stuff. Loudon wasn't really even in our mind in terms of being one of our starting 5. And he did the work over the summer, came back, changed his body. And Loudon just does everything we ask him to do. If we tell him to play low, he plays low. And he just gets better and plays with the proper technique and gives us a chance, or gives him a chance to be successful in every play.
Derek Hansen earns some Player of the Week honors for his 3 touchdown receptions. I think he had 6 or more catches in the game. Certainly a favorite target of Theo Doran's.
Yeah, we're certainly glad that Derek came back for a 5th year. And we have lots of guys like him, a lot of guys on defense as well. Tay Thomas, Mark Thrower, like guys that people know. Our opponents know who they are. Our fans know who they are. And it's kind of the guys like the Gus and Loudon that really are, what kind of make us who we are, the guys that are just doing the work day to day. But, Derek is he's a matchup nightmare for a lot of defenses, and we do a lot of things with him, and Theo seems to find him on a lot of plays, which is fine by me.
And let's touch base on defense a bit. Some players had huge games on defense. A lot of guys played. What stands out about the defense against Northwestern?
Well, I think that the negative was it's not good to give up big plays, but they got their points off of big plays. If we could have just eliminated, the big plays, I think would have been in much greater shape. But we maybe bended a little bit, but like I said, came up with a couple turnovers. Elijah Cruel, got a turnover off an interception off a tip ball. So we had some great pass rush. When Tay Thomas got his interception late in the game, the first thing he did was pointed to Terry, because Terry got a great push on the quarterback and made him throw an invert pass. So those are the things that I like to see as a coach. Is even Gus sliding down before the 2-minute, thinking that we could run out the clock. I appreciate him thinking that way. We did run another minute off the clock before we scored, but that's not really the situation we do that. But that just speaks to him that he doesn't need to get another touchdown if it means that we can run out the clock and win the game. So if we just continue to get better, and we got a really good group of really selfless guys that just want to do what's best for the team, and that's really what makes me excited.
And lastly, the home opener brings in a very young Luther team.
Yeah, a lot of first year players on their 2 deep, so it's hard to know exactly what they'll do or how they'll do it. Obviously, Coach Trochet's been there, going in his 3rd year, and Lars Prestman's his offensive coordinator. Sean Finger, I think, coaches the wide receivers. Riley Moran coaches the O-line. Caleb Willis is their secondary coach and works with special teams. So, they got 5 former players, 4 of which obviously I coached. So I'm excited for them. But I hope they do well the rest of the season.
Hopefully at halftime they go to the right locker room.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, good luck in the home opener, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Coach Killian for the Oles. And what does it say about the coach that so many of his former players are getting into coaching, and it just happens to be a number of them are at Luther?
Well, I think it just points out that they've created a love for football and learned a lot during their time at St. Olaf as far as knowing the game, and feel confident enough to take it to the next level after join the coaching ranks.
We've had a fairly steady rain during the latter segment of the warm-up time. Umbrellas are still up, and people watching video certainly have seen that, and those listening on the Mighty 920 KDHL know that it's been raining in the area. But I believe that the forecast is for this to end, and we should have maybe a humid but a nice afternoon for football.
Yeah, and I think temperature-wise, it's perfectly fine football weather. The beauty of artificial turf is that you really don't get the mud kind of thing, but balls can be a little bit wet, and when wet, a little bit slippery. So I think ball security will be an emphasis right now as both coaches are talking to their teams before they go out on the field for the opening kickoff.
There'll be some special announcements coming up in pregame. Today is St. Olaf's tackle cancer game, inviting folks to raise awareness and raise money for the fight against cancer. Fans have the opportunity to donate to the Randy Shaver Cancer Research and Community Fund, and there'll also be a special announcement and moment of silence regarding Athletic Director Ryan Bowles. St. Olaf is also displaying the initials RB at each of its athletic venues. Here it's on the front of the press box. Yes, right there it is, RB, to represent him and remember him. Throughout his time at St. Olaf, Ryan battled cancer while contributing still to help leading the Oles to MIAC championships and national championships while impacting the lives of countless student athletes and staff. And it should be noted that a service for Ryan Bowles will take place tomorrow, Sunday at 2 o'clock on campus, Bow Memorial Chapel. It will be streamed, so you can see it on the live stream. And for those on hand, there'll be a reception in Skoglund to follow. So that is just was terrible news when that came down toward the end of June.
Well, and hats off to Ryan. He fought that cancer for the better part of 6 years, and I don't know of anyone who really fought it the way he fought it. And we'd be remiss if we didn't also mention the fact that assistant coach Doug Johnson, quarterback of the couple of the St. Olaf championship teams in the late 60s, early 70s, passed away this summer also. And not only Ryan Bowles, RB, are on the Ole helmets, but also 11 for Doug Johnson on the helmets also.
Turning it over to the public address.
And his guidance was highly influential in the successes both on and off the field of thousands of student athletes. We are happy to have many of Ryan's friends and family here today, including Ryan's wife Sarah and son Tom, who will be the honorary captain for the Oles today. Please join us in honoring Ryan's memory with a moment of silence. Thank you. We now ask all who are able to please rise, remove your caps, and face the flag at the west end of the stadium for the playing of our national anthem, as performed and recorded by the St. Olaf Band.
Coin toss in a moment at midfield here at Klein Field at Manitou. Roy Koenig, Mark Gelly on the coverage. Mighty 920, KDHL, Faribault, Minnesota, and certainly on the Ole streaming side of things for another big season of football. The bye week comes next week. So a Saturday off before going for another night game when they go to McAllister to start the MIAC season in 2 weeks.
And I can't remember the last time that St. Olaf has played 2 night games in a season. They quite frequently have a night game, maybe one, either at Hamlin or McAllister or maybe even Augsburg over the course of years. Please
give a round of applause for Tom Bowles, our honorary captain for today's game.
And Tom is escorting the Ole captains to midfield for the coin toss.
That looks like Theodoran, Kettlehut, Derek Hansen, and Halleck representing the team today as in their role as captains.
Should get the announcement from the referee momentarily as well. He's explaining to the players right now the situation. Tom Bowles, honorary captain, out there as well. First game of the season for Luther. They did not play last week while the Oles won their game 39-21 at University of Northwestern.
And you think about it, St. Olaf with all the veteran players, and I just kind of jotted down some numbers. Of the top 44, so the 2 deep for offense and defense, St. Olaf has 30 players who are in their 5th, 4th, or 3rd year. That compares to...
It is a tail.
You won the toss, kick, receive, defend a goal, or defer.
We'd like to defer.
You'll defer?
Luther College will defer.
That compares to Luther, who has 11 juniors and seniors in their top 44. So not only a one-game experience on Luther, but also a whole lot of maturity for the Oles.
That would seem to be pretty massive to have that much difference in experience. And everybody's shaking hands, and young Mr. Bowles gives a little fist pump to the referee as well. As we get set for the kickoff, referee Nate Meissner, umpire Jason Weber, headlines person is Patrick Mullen, line judge Joshua Beck, field judge Gary Golka, side judge Aaron Goffman, back judge is Zach Johnson, the officials for this afternoon's game here at St. Olaf College in Northfield. So the Ole's to receive, and if things go according to plan and they start with the football and nothing strange on the kickoff, Finn Buffington is the junior center, Loudon Perlman, a guard out of Minneapolis Roosevelt, a junior, Diego Valleda, returner, a senior at a guard, Jonathan Hartwig is a junior out of Hudson, Wisconsin at a tackle, Holden Lutkins out of Hudson, Wisconsin as well, a tackle on the other side. Quarterback Theo Doran, running backs Gus Gartsky, Siegel Howard III.
Metcalf in the kick for the Norse.
Evan Hammond's a receiver, Devin McNerney a receiver, Will Skemp a receiver, Derek Hansen, tight end.
Devin McNerney back deep to receive for the Ole's.
Back to receive for the Ole's, McNerney and Halleck. They stand about their 3-yard line, and the kicker is Metcalf for Luther, and we are about set to start football, the home opener. They go for the onside kick attempt. The Ole player steps forward on it, sliding down. Rob 2, maybe? One of the number 3s.
I think it was Toby Call.
There you go. Toby Call. So Toby Call saw that coming, and interesting that Luther does that right out of the gate, trying to get an extra possession, but the Ole's are going to start at the 48-yard line of the Norse.
I remember the last time a team tried an onside kick on the opening kickoff, St. Olaf did that against St. Thomas, and it ended up being a 90-something to nothing blowout. And really was the impetus for St. Thomas being asked to leave the MIC.
So the Ole's with a single back, Skemp in motion. The handoff is to Gartsky. Stutter step at the line, head down, crosses the 45 down to about the 43. Will be a 5-yard pickup on first down for Gartsky, who had 19 carries, 86 yards, and a couple of touchdowns last week. The Ole's come to the line with no huddle. Jones, Charity, Peterson, the 3 names across the defensive front. Gartsky runs to the right, waits for a block to develop, picks up positive yardage, maybe to the 39-yard line, maybe a yard shy of a first down, pick up a 4.
And really good push on the part of the St. Olaf offensive line, kind of moving the line of scrimmage about 3 or 4 yards before Gartsky was even touched. It looks like Siegel Howard comes in now, kind of the short yardage back for the Ole's. Had a standout set of runs in the fourth quarter last week against Northwestern.
3rd down and 1. And if I saw the number right, I think that Riley Butcher, 89, came in as a tight end. He's on the right side. Hammonds goes in motion, 3rd and 1. It's a pitch to Hammonds on the sweep, and he's caught in the backfield and taken down for a loss on the play by Tyler Reagan. It's a loss of a yard, possibly 2, leaving the Ole's with a 4th down situation.
Kind of a slow developing play. I think the Ole's were trying to maybe trick Luther. I think with some of the advantages from a physicality standpoint, the Ole's might be better served by just going straight at Luther on short yardage situations.
4th down 3, St. Olaf will go for it. Opening drive of the game, minute and a half in. Under center is Doran, drops, gives the ball to the running back, goes to the right, does not get what he needs. That was Gartsky once again on the run. The 5'9", 185-pound sophomore out of Mankato East. A gain of maybe a yard, maybe not even that, and the Ole's will lose the ball on downs on their first possession.
And again, another slow developing play with 4th and 2.5, 3 yards. It's really hard to go straight at a team, although they only showed in the first 2 plays of that series that they could move the offensive line and the defensive line down the field. The Ole's choosing to be a little bit uncharacteristic here in that first possession.
Grady Rose, a sophomore quarterback. Damiani is a junior running back. Receivers Medrano and Carter and Glaspie, they all have experience from last year on the receiving side, and taking that himself for a gain to the 44-yard line is the quarterback Rose for about a 5-yard pickup on a run to the left.
Yeah, clearly a quarterback keeper. Rose able to get outside the St. Olaf defensive line and get it to the outside and pick up a nice yardage for Luther.
Kettle gets credit for the tackle. The offensive line is a sophomore at center, Pop. Otherwise, they're all freshmen. Chieda, Baldieres, Barclay, and Tuttle. 4 freshmen. Handoff and trying to dart to the outside. Not able to get that going at all. And it looks like Elijah Cruel slides in there to make the tackle.
Yeah, Cruel came from the opposite inside linebacker spot, made the play. And it looked also like Josh Kerber getting some playing time as a freshman for the Oles at the other linebacker spot.
For the record, the starter at linebacker should be Williams, secondary short Kettlehut, Thomas, Halleck, and Thrower, and that D-line, Barrett, Vasquez, Mikkel, and Green. But we know the Oles rotate in a lot of players on defense. This is 3rd and about 4. The handoff once again, slipping 1 tackle and a 2nd tackle, but then there's just too many Oles there. Now the spot is going to leave them about a yard shy of the first down. And it appeared that finishing off that play might have been the Kerber, like you just indicated on the previous play.
And kind of decision time here for Coach Trochet. 4th and 1 at midfield. Looks like they have their offensive unit staying on the field. Looks like Luther may go for it here, 4th and 1.
The Oles went for it on 4th and 1 and missed. Now the Norse go for it. They huddle up. The center is over the ball. They huddle up. They break formation, come up to the line of scrimmage. Double wing look, quarterback by himself. He'll run to the left guy, to blocker in front of him, and does not make it. By all indications, did not pick up any yardage. And Green is one of those that comes out of the huddle pumping his fist as the Oles turn Luther over, although the indication now is that he picked up the yardage somehow. No, which way are they pointing? The officials have pointed both ways. Now they're saying St. Olaf ball.
It's both early in the year and early in the game, Roy. That play, Luther came up with kind of that look that St. Olaf used early in the Killian regime, where they have the center over the ball, and the rest of the players rush to the line of scrimmage trying to catch the defense unaware. And that time the Oles were ready for that kind of play and stuffed the quarterback keeper fairly easily.
We've only needed 15 yards of the field so far. And we're almost 4 minutes into the game. First down, Oles. They force the turnover on downs to pass. Doran hit as he throws the ball, looking for Skemp down around the 10. There's lots of contact and no penalty flags as the defender ruled to be going for the ball as well. And that was Jeremiah Brown, and it's incomplete.
And Jeremiah Brown is the lone starting player from a year ago for Luther.
And this one will be nullified.
The officials were not set to officiate the play. It's 2nd down.
Well, nothing like honesty for the situation. I was looking for a flag, and I did not see a flag.
Well, that's what happens. You know, the mechanics for the officials has changed. Back in the day, the referee would, every play, would chop the ball in ready for play. Now it just kind of flows with the idea that we use the 40-second clock as opposed to chopping it in and then go for 25 seconds thereafter.
The Oles, I think Braden Menz is back in there. Fake on the handoff, pass down the field to Menz, catches it, crosses the 40 to around the 38-yard line, which would be exactly what's needed for the first down of the game, a 10-yard pickup for number 88, Braden Menz.
And Theo Doran took a hit after the ball was thrown by number 5, Xavier Captain.
And this run, line of scrimmage, if that, 1-yard loss on the play on the carry by Gartsky and Reagan among those in on the tackle for maybe a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, it looked like Gartsky kind of broke that run back toward the inside. It looked like he had the outside to pick up some better yardage.
I'll say thanks to the crew here. Hopefully I get this right. Sophia Villagomez, Bea Beeman, Nathaniel Olms, Maggie Doran on cameras, Steadicam Michael Meritz, replay Grant Klebig and Alex Freihammer, director Jeff O'Donnell, production assistant Tonko. Thanks for all their hard work. Siegel Howard III is in, sheds 1 or 2 tacklers, picks up maybe 3 yards on the play, which was second down and long. He does pick up about 3 yards. Going to still leave him a 3rd and 9 or so, it appears.
And the Ole's bring in McNerney, a 3rd wide receiver. Take out Menz, the 2nd tight end, if you will.
3rd down and 8 for St. Olaf. No score, 9:25 to go first quarter. Second possession for the Ole's. Each team turned the ball over on downs on their first try. Trips to the near side of the field. It's right side of the formation. Doran to pass. Lots of time. Throws it as a short pass down to Skemp. Looking for yards after. Breaks a tackle. Gets to the 30, which is a pickup of about 6, and still leaves him a couple of yards shy of a first down.
Yeah, Skemp did a good job of catching the ball, but also kind of making a pivot. Allowed himself to get some extra yardage as he fell forward after slipping that first tackle.
4th down and 2 for the Ole's from the 30-yard line, a position where they're going to go for it. St. Olaf is now 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions. They are 0 for 1 on 4th down conversions. And here they go. I formation. The deep man is Gartsky with Howard to block in front of him. Doran will fake to Gartsky, throw the ball out in the flat. It's caught by Hansen. Hansen to the 20. Hansen down to about the 17, about a 13-yard pickup and an Ole first down on 4th down for the reigning D3 Football.com tight end of the week.
Well, Derek Hansen was lined up on the left side. Kind of gave a passive block, a look to fool the defense, and then was wide open.
I wonder if the Ole snapped the ball before the officials were ready.
Timeout. Luther.
Oh!
First time out of the half.
Okay, so a timeout is taken. I jumped the gun in predicting things there. So a timeout is taken here by Luther. They're backpedaling a little bit and timeout.
And I think that time the referees were ready, but Luther wasn't, so they took the timeout.
There we can see Hansen making that catch, and he was pretty wide open, Mark.
Well, I think just that little bit of hesitation in terms of getting a release off the line of scrimmage made Luther forget that he's a pretty good tight end. And I'm sure the scouting report for Luther when they look at St. Olaf was, don't let Derek Hansen make big plays, because he's probably Theo Doran's now favorite receiver.
6 catches last week for 90 yards and 3 touchdowns, and the D3 Football.com player of the week. He was the only tight end on that player of the week, that team of the week for D3 Football.com. So Hansen had a monster game. Out of Egan, a 5th-year player, 6'4", 245 pounds. Ole's have a 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line, rather. No score in the game. Ole's are in the red zone. As Doran from a shotgun snap awaits the ball, and a penalty flag.
Looks like Menz may have jumped just a little bit of a hitch there.
False start. Offense number 88. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Running back there with Doran this time was number 3, Rob 2. 5'11" sophomore, 200 pounds out of St. Paul Harding. So he was the running back in the backfield on that last play. And I don't think there's been any personnel changes since.
Other than that Menz came out.
They bring 3 wide to the right, and actually one of those wide to the right is 2. Backfield empty for Doran. 3 wide right, 1 wide left. 2 goes in motion. Doran looking downfield over the middle. It's caught at the 20, and that's Hansen. Chopped down at about the 21-yard line. So actually, when I said that they were on the 17, my mistake, they were on the 22. So it's about a 1 year. Well, no, then there was a 5-yard penalty, of course. So the last scrimmage was the 22-yard line. It's a 1-yard gain on the pass.
Yeah, and a very shallow route by Derek Hansen. I think it's the way they draw it up, hoping that he gets lost in all the traffic in and around the middle of the field. That time Luther ready for it and made the tackle upon the catch.
Receivers both directions, 3 to the left side, wide side of the field, looking that way. Doran throws another underneath route. It's caught at the 15-yard line for a gain of about 6 or 7. Tackle by Reagan. After the catch, was that Hammonds on the catch?
That was Hammonds on kind of a curl into the middle, coming out of a slot.
Number 84, Evan Hammonds.
6 yards on the play. It leaves the Ole's a 3rd down and 7 from just inside the 15-yard line. 7 minutes to go, first quarter, no score.
Well, the Ole's obviously want to get a score here, and I think Theo needs to be careful with the football, making note of the fact that he does have a good field goal kicker.
Back to pass. Got tight ends over here. It's thrown to 2. Makes a move at the 15. Almost lost the ball. Boy, he did a great job hanging on to the football. Player was going for the strip. 2 is down at the 12. Still shy of a first down. And the Ole's are going to attempt a field goal here with the line of scrimmage being the 12. 2 on the catch. And that first man there defensively, Brown, really trying to rip that ball away.
Colin Swan in the kick for the Olaf.
Colin Swan in to kick for St. Olaf. Holder should be Halleck. Left-footed Swan out of Florida. The ball is placed. The kick is on its way. It is good. It is good. And Halleck had to kind of adjust a little bit there, Mark. The ball came in kind of flat.
I was going to say that Halleck did a really good job of catching the ball, but then getting it down just barely before Swan was ready to strike it.
So St. Olaf scores first. 3-0. Ole's on the board and fire up the choir here at Klein Field at Manitou. St. Olaf picked up a first down on 4th down on that drive. They went 48 yards in 10 plays. I think it was a 27-yard kick. We'll check the official stats on that. As Swan converts on the field goal and St. Olaf grabs the 3-0 lead here at Klein Field at Manitou. Allina Health is a proud partner of St. Olaf College, providing sports medicine services to Ole student athletes. Their sports medicine specialists help ensure Ole's are in peak condition, ready to play at their highest potential. Let them partner with you to unlock your limitless potential. Visit AllinaHealth.org to find a clinic near you.
Number 11, Grant Carter.
As you get set to come out to Ole games this season, be it football, volleyball, basketball, hockey, be sure to go through hometown ticketing as the way to get your tickets to Ole games. Certainly students, faculty, and staff get in with their St. Olaf ID, but hometown ticketing to come to Ole games as technology strikes again. From the 5 to the 10, 15, and 20, 25-yard line on the return. And that's where Luther will start this next drive. It'll be their second drive of the game. The Ole's lead 3-0.
Carter returns from the 4-yard line.
Carter on the return.
Well, now the Ole's have seen the Luther offense. Looks like it's going to be largely quarterback dominated, both in terms of running the ball, but also I would guess they're going to start opening it up and throwing the football.
Again, the quarterback, number 18, Grady Rose. 4 games in 2023, was 39 of 74, 376 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions a season ago. Got a very young team to work with. Hands the ball off, gets past one tackler, cuts back at the line of scrimmage, and then a host of players bring him down, led by Finn Qualls. Gets a good hold of him to work on that tackle. Gain of less than 1, it appears.
Stopped by number 11, Elijah Cruel.
And Cruel there for a tackle as well.
Gain of 1, 2nd down and 9 for the North.
And Finn Qualls listed as a backup behind Vasquez, getting a little more playing time here today.
Sophomore D lineman, 6'1", 250 pounds. Running back was Demiani. To throw this time, Rose, and incomplete. He was looking for Carter, C-A-R-D-E-R, down the field, and he was kind of open between some Ole's, but the pass was a little off.
Yeah, he came from kind of the inside slot in that 3-receiver set on the right side. Kind of ran a skinny post. quarterback just not able to hook up with him on the route.
3rd down, 9, 5:18 first quarter. Clock stopped, 3-0 St. Olaf with the lead. 5 wide, empty backfield for Grady Rose. Passes incomplete. That was intended for Medrano, who is a senior and a returning starter, but that's incomplete. And now it's 4th and long. Those are his first 2 pass attempts of the ball game. Rose comes out of Prescott, Arizona. 6'10", 210, a sophomore.
Yeah, really good size for a quarterback. Obviously, a very good runner from what we've seen early in the ball game.
McNerney, the return man for the Ole's. He is planted at his 35-yard line. The line of scrimmage is the 26 as Luther punts, kicking it away from McNerney, to say the least. It'll bounce around midfield. McNerney will grab it in a crowd of Norse and come down with the ball at the 45-yard line. He has to be a brave, confident young man to grab it in that scenario.
What is the better part of valor? Maybe. I think the way that ball was bouncing, I'm not so sure if he would have let it go that it would actually bounded down the field. It looked like it might have had one of those reverse bounce, actually.
About a 30-yard change in field position. The Ole's will take over at their 45-yard line, leading 3-0 with 5:06 to go in the first quarter. At halftime, we'll catch up with the St. Olaf volleyball program. That comes up at the half with Coach Alicia Wood and senior Macy Rogers. That's our interview special at halftime. Volleyball, they're playing today. Fake on the handoff, pass down the field. You couldn't be more open, but Hansen couldn't haul it in. Kind of watching it come in over his right shoulder and maybe just a little long, incomplete.
Well, he was certainly wide open, as you said, Roy. Just too bad. It looked like identical to the play that the Ole's ran for the long touchdown to Hansen against Northwestern last week.
Yeah, certainly seemed like maybe, but not quite as it works out. Riley Butcher has come back in again as a tight end. He comes out of Glencoe Silver Lake. So the Ole's are now rotating 3 tight ends. Double wing look. Doran comes up under center with Siegel Howard III, the lone back behind him, looking to throw, and incomplete. I don't know if that was swatted along the way or not, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, it sure looked like it was a very errant pass. I'm guessing that Theo had Hansen in sights and was probably deflected away from Hansen's ability to catch the ball.
On the scoring drive, which was the field goal drive, he was 6 out of 7. 6 out of 7 on that scoring drive, which was actually a 36-yard drive because of the field goal. So effective passing that time, but on this drive 0 for 2, and it is now a 3rd down and 10. The Ole's 0 for 3 on 3rd down. Doran fakes a throw. Now rolls and essentially throws it out of bounds. It's incomplete. And the Ole's are now 0 for 4 on 3rd downs.
And the Ole's, had they been able to make a completion on the play and pick up the first down, it would have been negated by ineligible downfield. Finn Buffington was about 8 yards downfield when that ball was thrown, not knowing that the play had really blown up behind him.
So the Ole's are in a 4th down situation, 0 for 3 through the air on that drive, and the punter Colin Swan stands at his 30-yard line to kick it away, pick the snap up off the ground. Ball flies out of bounds on the far sideline. We've got a little altercation, meanwhile, behind the play. 2 players are tangled together. They get separated. Nothing really comes out of that. But also not much of a punt. It looks like the 33-yard line is where Luther will get the ball. So a lot of this game continues to be in the middle of the field.
And the little kerfuffle as the play ended back toward the line of scrimmage was Siegel Howard, kind of trying to get loose from a Luther player who was on top of him.
So Luther comes back out for their offense. This is their 3rd drive of the game. They have lost it on downs and punted. They have not picked up a first down yet. And total yardage of about 10 in the 2 drives. Handoff, caught in the backfield, slipping a tackle, letting him pop by Thomas, but staying on his feet and finding another path forward around the 39 is a big 6-yard gain considering he was hit in the backfield initially.
Yeah, Elijah Krull had a chance to make a play behind the line of scrimmage. The back able to slip that tackle and pick up good yardage on the play.
So it is a 2nd down and about 4. No huddle this time for Luther. Pistol formation for Rose. He's got his running back, Damiani, behind him. Fakes there, throws the ball incomplete. Covered on the play by Halleck. The intended receiver was 81 Casimiro Martinez, the tight end.
And I think if Martinez catches that football, it probably ends up in a loss of 4 or 5 yards. Halleck right there to make the play.
3rd down 4, 0 for 2 on 3rd downs for Luther. Ole's lead at 3-0, 4:04 to go in the first quarter here from Northfield. Final meeting in the series between these two teams, at least for the time being. The Ole's are committed to Northwestern next year with only one non-conference game. Handoff in the backfield there for the tackle of Barrett. Barrett had a monster week last week with 3.5 tackles for a loss and a sack. He picks up another TFL on that play and will force the Norse to punt.
Yeah, after a really good first down play for Luther, the Ole's able to force an incomplete pass and then a tackle for loss by Barrett. Luther in a position again to punt the ball away.
Barrett, a 6-foot, 215-pound junior out of Stratford, Wisconsin. And a punting situation now for, I think, Lillidahl is the punter for Luther. 3:25 to go first quarter, 3-0 Ole's. McNerney would be back to return the kick. This is a low line drive. McNerney catches it on a bounce. He picks up a yard or two and then a surge forward, a little scrum forward across the 40 to the 41. Now Luther's saying they have the ball. The official is saying it's Ole football. The official is the one that counts. He points St. Olaf direction, so St. Olaf leading 3-0 takes over late first quarter.
On that line drive punt, that was a
St.
case
Olaf,
where
number 15, will have to sit out a play for his helmet off.
And McNerney lost his helmet on the play. On that play, the ball was kicked low on a line drive. I think McNerney probably saved 10 or 15 yards. There clearly would have been a positive bounce for Luther had he not taken the initiative to catch that ball and take a big hit.
Doran under center, gives to the deep man Gartsky. Gartsky up the far hash marks, crosses the 45 to the 48-yard line for an 8-yard pickup for the Mankato East product.
Gartsky has really quick feet, and he's able to kind of read the blocking pattern of his offensive line and find a hole and kind of burst through it.
2nd down and a couple. Give to Gartsky again. This time caught in the backfield. He'll lose a couple of yards on that play. Nice play by Zayden Charity, the 270-pound freshman. Tackle for a loss of about 3.
Gartsky stopped in the backfield by number 54, Zayden Charity.
And men's back in the game, coming in for Siegel Howard, the fullback. So Leoli's going 2 tight ends. 2 wide receivers on this play.
3rd down 5. St. Olaf is 0 for 4 on 3rd down so far this afternoon. 2:09 to go first quarter, 3-0 Ole's. Back to pass is Doran. Had lots of time. Throws it in the flat and in and out of the hands of the intended target. And that was Menz. Now 4th and 5 for St. Olaf, shy of midfield.
And even if Menz had caught the football, he was... with his momentum, he was going to run out of bounds probably 3 yards short of the first down. So the Ole's kind of running into pass patterns that aren't matching the down and distance situation. And it could be that the rest of the receivers that are kind of within the first down territory are just being covered too much. Theo can't risk it.
Swan to punt. Nice snap to him. Gets the kick away, gets bumped. There is a penalty flag. Return man from the 20 on a fair catch. But there is a penalty flag where the Luther player ran into Swan as he was coming back down after punting the ball.
And the question is it going to be running into the kicker or roughing? With 4th and about 6 or so, a short running into would not result in a first down.
Here's the announcement.
running into the kicker. Defense number 11. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
And that's now an automatic first down.
It's an automatic first down? Okay.
I think what happened was that before that became automatic, so often the referees would say, well, it's so bad, but I don't want to make it so bad that it gives them an extra 10 yards, 5 versus 15.
Yeah.
So I think they tend to go with the 5 and just give them a first down.
And there you see the player for Luther bumping into the Oles. So that the Ole kicker, punter, Swan. So St. Olaf gets a fresh set of downs. They're at the 49-yard line of Luther. 3-0 St. Olaf. Under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Hammonds hurries in motion, a little fake on a shovel. Handoff is to Howard III. He finds running room to the 40-yard line. He stood up, but he's got some power. Forward progress might give him the 39, which would be 10 yards. William Whalen in on the tackle, but that is a 10-yard pickup for a first down.
Gain of 10.
St. Olaf to the line quickly, 39-yard line, pitch back to Howard III, comes right, cut back, dives forward to the 35 for a 4-yard gain.
Howard does a really good job of finishing his runs. That time he took a hit, probably, now they spot it back a little bit, but he dove forward probably an extra 2 yards. They didn't give it to him, but it's always good to kind of press the issue and try to get as much as you can at the end of a run.
Whitehill on the tackle. Whitehill is a sophomore out of Illinois. 2nd down and 7 for St. Olaf. Scrimmaging from the 36 of Luther. Back to pass is Doran. Lobs it in between coverage. Caught, hit, held onto, I believe. And Hammonds down to around the 23-yard line is a 13-yard gain for an Ole first down. He got hit hard after he caught the ball.
Well, and a nice catch by Hammond. Probably one of the most reliable receivers the Oles have had in the last 10 years. Anything near him, he more than likely is going to catch.
First down 10, 22-yard line. We're down to the closing 20 seconds of the first quarter. Doran has time, throws a dart, caught at the 10-yard line, sheds a tackler, and makes it down to about the 7-yard line. Was that men's?
That was men's. And it might have been the first time that I felt like Theo Doran really planted hard and stepped into his throw with some authority. That one was on a line.
That is the end of the first quarter.
So many of his passes so far today have been kind of that almost lob ball that gives the defense way too much time to recover and make a play.
We're at the end of the first quarter. It is 3-0 St. Olaf with the lead. We pause for one of our messages on the Mighty 920 KDHL.
Looking for a dedicated real estate expert in Faribault or the surrounding areas? Meet Evan Knudsen from Weichert Realty. Evan brings local knowledge, personalized service, and a commitment to helping you find the perfect home. Whether you're buying, selling, or just exploring, Evan's expertise and passion make the process smooth and stress-free. Don't just find a house, find a home with Evan Knudsen at Weichert Realty. Visit Weichert.com or call 507-210-9140 and take the first step towards your dream home.
So a 3-0 lead for St. Olaf. The fans have been able to set down their umbrellas for the time being and hopefully for the balance of the afternoon. Now they'll only get more damp from the humidity that remains in the air after kind of a mini storm, or at least some steady rain before and at kickoff today.
Up in Collegeville at the end of the first quarter, it's 7-7, Wartburg and St. John's, at least in one rating system. Wartburg ranked number 10 in the country, St. John's at 16.
Wow. St. Olaf has a first down, goal to go from the 8-yard line. Doran awaits the snap, looks to throw. Dances in the pocket, throws into double coverage, or I should say Gartsky did draw a couple of coverage guys, ball knocked away for incomplete on first down.
Doran's pass intended for Gartsky, incomplete.
First quarter stats, the Oles have 95 yards of offense on 24 snaps. Luther, 10 plays, 12 yards.
Second down and goal from the 8, just underway. Second quarter from Klein Field at Manitou. Gartsky stands alongside Doran. motion. That's Hansen. He'll move over to the left, and a penalty flag flies before the snap of the ball procedure.
Ball start. Offense, number 80. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Are they indicating that he moved forward before he got up out of his stance to move to the left side?
Well, he must have simulated a snap. And sometimes kind of these fifth-year veterans that really know what they're doing, they may catch themselves missing the snap count and are smart enough to pretend like they're just going in motion. I don't know if that was the case on that play, but Hansen does go from one tight end or one slot spot to the other side of the line of scrimmage or offensive lineup.
This time he's on the right side, does not go, and Doran to throw. Rolls to the right. Doran throws far sideline. Play incomplete. And that was intended for Gartsky out of the backfield. I think it was Furman on coverage. And now the Oles face 3rd and goal, and they're back at the 13-yard line because of that penalty a moment ago.
Well, the Oles had a lot of receivers over on the right side, and it was further complicated by the fact that Doran released out to his right-hand side. Luther really only had half the field to defend, knowing that it would take a really long pass for Doran to find somebody on the opposite side of the field.
Skemp is wide right on the play. Doran fakes the handoff, throws. It is caught, but right around the line of scrimmage, and it's Hansen on the catch. All sorts of players are there, including Captain and Knutson as linebackers, and pretty much no gain, maybe 1 yard at best, and now 4th down for the Oles. They're going to put Colin Swan to work.
And once again, the Oles throw short of the line to gain or goal line in this case, hoping that
Number 5, Colin Swan.
Hansen can break a tackle or beat somebody into the end zone for the touchdown.
This is a 29-yard try. Left-footed Swan. Boy, plenty of height and distance and accuracy. That was a good-looking field goal, and the Oles doubled their lead to 6-0 on a 29-yard field goal. So St. Olaf finds points, but not the end zone once again, and fans will show their appreciation regardless of how many points. Ends up being about 46 yards on the drive, and then what I've got is a 29-yard Swan field goal for a 6-0 St. Olaf lead. Our partners at BSN Sports, the industry leader in sports management and team apparel, proudly support over 1,000 collegiate partners across the U.S. with the primary goal to support those who impact the lives of athletes on a daily basis. BSN Sports would like to thank all coaches in the crowd. And BSN Sports, the best at equipping athletes. Coaches are the best at equipping lives, and that's the real final score. Learn more at bsnsports.com. Kickoff specialist for the Oles is Ethan Hess, a freshman out of Marshall, Minnesota. St. Olaf 6-0, and Hess drives this one deep inside the 5, fielded at the 5-yard line. To the 20, and drilled on that play by the Ole return crew, coverage crew. Thought I read that as a 29, but I don't have a 29.
It's actually Will Harris.
Is it? Okay. What number is he on here otherwise?
I think he's number 39. He was 39 last year, and I don't think the original roster got that, or that they didn't pick that up.
All right, so Will Harris is 29.
Return. Illegal block in the back. Return team number 43. 10-yard penalty. First down, Luther.
So tack on a great special teams tackle by Harris to the penalty, and Luther is forced to start at their own 14-yard line. Early on, second quarter, 6-0, St. Olaf with the lead. And Luther sending in their offense to start from the 14-yard line. They've gone downs, punt, and as Mark just said, 12 yards of total offense so far for Luther. Head coach Joe Trochet in his third season. Lars Presteman is the offensive coordinator, an Ole grad. Several other former Oles on this coaching staff for the Norse. Handoff is Damanini, and he'll cross the 20 out to the 24. He might have picked up a first down. There it is, 10-yard run by the junior running back.
Yeah, Isaiah Krull came with a little bit of a run blitz and kind of vacated the spot that he would have been in that the running back ran through.
Titans. Go ahead.
I think if he just stays with his normal lineup, he's going to run right into Krull on the handoff.
Titan Small out of St. Charles made the tackle after the 10-yard pickup, and this will be a handoff. This time not much doing. In fact, a loss on the play. Green, one of the final players up off the pile. Not sure if Giovanni will get credit for that tackle. It's a loss of 1 yard, though, for Luther, and they look at a second down and 11.
And Vasquez into the ball game for the Oles.
So second and long for Luther. They're going left to right in front of us. White uniforms, blue numbers, blue helmets. Handoff Damanini in the backfield. There to make the play for the Oles is Josh Kerber having a bit of a breakout game, or at least certainly making a statement. Freshman, right?
Yeah. And I think I saw his parents walk into the stadium, at least a woman wearing number 44. Looked to be his mother.
There you go.
That makes it third down.
Well, she's cheering hard along with any other family members. Johnston, Iowa for Kerber. This is third down and 13 for Luther. 12-10 to go in the second quarter. Rose awaits the snap. He has it. He's going to run this to the left, and that's not going to generate a whole lot. A minimal pickup on the play. Thomas is there for the Oles.
As usual, Krull is always in it.
Yeah. So a pickup of maybe 3 yards, but it was a third and long, and they were just setting themselves up for a punt here, unless something really odd developed on that quarterback keeper. And fourth down and long, the punter is Lillidahl, return man McNerney, with the Oles likely to get some good field position again.
McNerney back deep to receive for the Oles.
He stands at his 45-yard line. Oles lead 6-0, 11:23 to go in the second quarter. Kind of that rugby-style kick. McNerney comes up on it, takes it at the 48-yard line, as Luther races to the right, 45-yard line, picks up a big block by Call, now to the 30, 25, 20, 15, hurdles a man, and is down at the 11, but there is a penalty flag. Down deep on the return, a penalty marker down.
It looks like it's going to be spotted at about the penalty, that is, at about the 15. So likely the Oles will start this drive at the Luther 25.
There's the return, and as he got to that right corner, Call, if that's Call wearing number 3 on special teams, came in and nicked the player for Luther.
During the return, illegal block below the waist. Kicking team number 14. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Well, that changes the complexion of that run back.
Oh, yeah. So it's on the kicking team. We thought it was going to march the other way, certainly. Usually those penalties go on the return team, frankly. But down to the 5-yard line. The Oles start at the 5-yard line of Luther. St. Olaf has a couple of field goals, leads 6-0, but what a golden opportunity to finally break that plane and get into the end zone, starting from the 5.
Well, we have to hand it to McNerney. There was no way he should have tried to return that punt. There were 3 Luther players circling him, and somehow he got loose and got free down the sideline and picked up a huge gain for the Oles.
Tight ends on either side. Motion by Hansen. Hand off Gartsky. Gartsky head down and gets to the 5, and that's about it. Good play by Whitehill. He met him head on and dropped him for no gain.
Gartsky up the middle.
And really no chance for Gartsky to
second down goal from the 6.
Pick up much yardage on that play.
Superman McNerney flying through the air. And this will be a handoff. Gartsky, right side. Gartsky. Touchdown, St. Olaf.
Gus Gartsky carries in from the 6.
They'll call it from the 6-yard line. 6-yard line. Touchdown, and St. Olaf now 12-0 pending the extra point.
Well, and you wonder if the Olies might go for 2 here. They showed a 2-point conversion last week against Northwestern.
St. Olaf is lined up for that momentarily with that swinging gate, and
Luther was ready for it.
Yep, and now the Olies, who have Halleck in, who would have taken the snap, and Swan was on the field. They're going to go for the 1 point, extra point. A little high on the snap. Swan's kick is on the way. That kick is good. Here's the touchdown play again, Mark.
Score is St. Olaf 13, Luther 0.
Darts gets some good blockers out in front of him. Another angle on it.
You know what comes next.
Yeah, that really was a big hole for Gartsky. Yeah. Hats off to the Ole offensive line. Likely Hartwig and Buffington
and Perlman on that
and
side.
Perlman on the right-hand side.
Bayeda and Lutkins are the other offensive linemen. St. Olaf volleyball, they beat Loris today, 3-2, coming from behind. They were down 2-1, I believe. They're playing lacrosse now. Might be able to get you a final on that a little later. This week, they yesterday picked up a win over Dubuque. Lila Van Scoy, 15 kills. Morgan Ryan at 27 digs, 10 assists. And then in a 3-1 win over St. Norbert, Paige Christofferson, 28 assists and 11 digs. Again, the Olies beat Loris today. They're playing lacrosse now. We'll hear from Coach Alicia Wood and Senior Captain Macy Rogers coming up at our halftime report. St. Olaf volleyball.
11 minutes to go in the first half. St. John's leading Wartburg 14-7.
10:37 to go in the second quarter here from Kleinfield at Manitou. Olies are up 13-7. The return man for Luther to the 25-yard line. And that will be where his return ends. And among the Olies there on the play, looks like Halleck.
Returned by number 13, Bryce Glaspie.
And Glaspie on the return for Luther.
Tackled by 34, Siegel at the 26-yard line. First down and 10 for the Norse.
First down and 10 for Luther. 10:27 to go second quarter. First game of the season for Luther. Last season they were winless on the season. They play in that American Rivers Conference from the 26-yard line. Quarterback Rose weaves his way ahead for 1 yard.
And the Olies now freshman defensive end Felipe Suazo into the ball game for the Olies.
Rose keeps. Brought down by number 47, Ian Whittick.
Some new guys in at linebacker as well for St. Olaf.
Second down and 9.
Second and 9 to throw. Rose almost intercepted by Krull. It was in his hands. Still, he gets credit for a pass defense, and it's third and long.
Well, you know what they say about defensive back and linebackers. Those are guys that would be running backs or wide receivers if they could catch the football.
And I'm sure that Elijah would tell you that's catchable. That's catchable. Goes off his right hand, incomplete. Third down and long, 3rd and 9, empty backfield, 5 wide. Quick look to the right, throw. It's caught and crosses the 30. Lunges forward across the 35. If he made the 36, that's going to be good for a first down. The spot, he picks up a first down. That's a 10-yard pickup on a 3rd and 9.
And the Olies just got out-leveraged on that play. The receiver able to get out. It looked like...
for the Olies. First down for the Norse.
Gonzalez had the catch. 5 wide again for the Norse. Looking the same way. Pressure. Fumbled football. fumbled football. St. Olaf says they have it. The Oles do.
Yeah, that was a case where the quarterback was a little bit nonchalant with the football, kind of holding it down near his waist. And as a result, the Ole rush was able to get to him and slap the ball loose and pick up the loose one for an Ole turnover.
Green might have stripped it.
Fumble recovered by number 24, Noah Barrett.
Noah Barrett continues to be a monster on defense for the Oles. St. Olaf leading 13-0. They get the ball at the 31-yard line of Luther following the turnover. I formation, handoff, no, fake the handoff, pass to the end zone. Hansen waits for it, has it, touchdown, St. Olaf. 4th touchdown catch of the season for Hansen already.
And really almost unfair from the standpoint that Hansen at about 6'4", 6'5", matching up with a defensive back, will get a
flag on the play.
There is a flag down now, but this has nothing to do with the touchdown, I don't believe.
I don't know if there was a celebration on it or what, but we'll find out soon enough.
Seems late for a celebration penalty flag, but we're going to find, like you said, we're going to find out in just a second here.
Now they're going to talk to Luther. Joe Trochet looks like it's going to have a decision.
19-0 St. Olaf pending the extra point. 9:05 to go second quarter.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, St. Olaf, number 68. That 15-yard penalty will be administered on the ensuing kickoff.
All right, so an unsportsmanlike call. That'll hurt the Oles on the kickoff. But for now, they line up with this swinging gait and ready to take the snap. Here is Crosby. He's the backup quarterback. He'll act as the holder now for Swan as they do revert to a standard point after try. Crosby was out there just in case. Here's the kick by Swan. That is blocked. That's a live football. Picked up by Luther. Swan trying to get in the way. Luther player banged out of bounds. Penalty flag comes in. Several penalty flags on the hard hit on the Luther sideline, knocking the player out of bounds. Maybe he was already out of bounds. We're going to have to get that sorted out for us as well. 19-0 will remain the score, but we need an explanation on the penalty flag shortly. Here from St. Olaf College with the Oles leading 19-0, 9:05 to play second quarter.
John, just the way the play evolved, no doubt there was probably a late hit. A lot of times those players on those special teams aren't expecting to be making a tackle and kind of lose track of where the sideline is.
The block kick by Brown. Withers picked it up to go the other way, and it's just off to the left of your screen as to what happened there on that sideline. Now the official is coming over to Coach Killian. One of the officials is, unless this is just his normal spot. Oh, it is. So still no explanation on the penalty marker just yet.
After the play, personal foul, late hit out of bounds, St. Olaf, number 12. A penalty will be enforced from the ensuing kickoff, half distance to the goal.
Wow.
It'll be a try. Correction, kickoff.
All right, so the extra point attempt is blocked. Again, it appeared number 1, Jeremiah Brown, blocked it, and then number 19 picked it up, Withers.
So we'll go to the 17 and a half, 15. We go to the 20 and then half the distance. So the Oles probably kick off from the 10.
Okay. And after a little delay, the fans will celebrate. Alina Health is a proud partner of St. Olaf College. There's the Hansen touchdown catch. Just a jump ball, and Hansen wins that one in most instances.
And I think the Ole's able to get the touchdown throw to Hansen, throwing over Jeremiah Brown, 6-footer. So not a huge mismatch, but and Jeremiah Brown, the lone returning starter for Luther from a year ago.
And the one who blocked the kick afterward. So St. Olaf is kicking off from their 10. There are two unsportsmanlike penalties, one after the touchdown and one after the point after try, or during the point after try. So this is Ethan Hess kicking from his 10. The deep return men, there's three of them. They're standing at their own 25 and 30. Line drive by Hess. It'll take a bounce, elude one player, grab by the other, crosses the 35 to the 40, 45-yard line. And then Toby Call, he's had a big game on special teams. He stops the forward progress. Still 47-yard line for Luther to start this drive.
Well, considering there are 25 yards worth of penalties assessed for that kickoff, if that ball goes back 25 yards from the 47, it's at 22, and actually pretty good coverage.
Sure.
Considering all things involved in that kickoff play.
Toby Call is a good cheering section when his name was announced over the PA. Heard a little roar of applause. Great to have those steady cam shots, all sorts of different aspects and ways to watch this game on the stream. Great to have you along on the Mighty 920, KDHL, Faribault, Minnesota as well. Roy and Mark on the call from Klein Field at Manitou, the home opener. And then it's a little while till another game here because the Ollies go to McAllister in 2 weeks.
Second time out of the half.
Luther took a timeout, I think, in fairness, for an accuracy. They huddled with 12 or had 12 on the field and could easily have been penalized the 5 yards.
And you've told me that you've trained your brain that you count how many players are on the field on every play, basically?
Well,
you can just tell.
If you're refereeing, you definitely, in the case of the deep officials in the defensive backfield, they're all counting the defense. The umpire, the people on the line of scrimmage, and the referee are counting the offense. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't catch the 12th men on the field, especially when he kind of drew attention to himself. Everybody was lined up in their own spots, and then 24 ran to the sideline with nobody coming in to replace him.
Allina Health is a proud partner of St. Olaf College, providing sports medicine services to Ole student athletes. Their sports medicine specialists help ensure Oles are in peak condition, ready to play at their highest potential. Let them partner with you to unlock your limitless potential. Visit AllinaHealth.org to find a clinic near you. From the 47-yard line, a run and a pickup of about 10 on first down to the 43 of the Oles. They're saying that he was down as the ball may have come free, but that is I guess it's going to be a 9-yard pickup.
Stephen Wyatt on the carry.
Wyatt on the carry. Handoff, carries again, picks up a first down to the 42, pickup of about 2 yards, but that's good for a first down on a 2nd and 1.
And Wyatt listed at 5'7", 155, kind of that same as our Evan Hammonds.
So 2 men in the backfield is Henry is the other one. So Wyatt, number 24, and Henry, number 28. Handoff again to Wyatt in the backfield. Slips a tackle. Reverses direction and gets overwhelmed by Kerber, among others. I think Titan is there as well. Titan Small to help make the tackle. And it's a loss on the play. 4 yards.
44 Kerber and 48 Small on the stop for the Oles.
Ole's showing some depth because neither of those guys are the starters usually. Small and Kerber. Small a sophomore and Kerber a freshman. 7:35 to go, second quarter, 19-0. St. Olaf with the lead. From the pistol, fake on the handoff, throw over the middle, missed his man, getting caught up in some traffic. Trying to get down the field and get open was Henry, and it's incomplete, and it's now a 3rd and long.
And Gio Green lined up as a defensive end, fell back in coverage and looked like I almost had man-to-man coverage on the intended receiver.
3rd down and long for Luther. 46-yard line of the Oles. 3rd down and 14. Empty backfield, 5 wide. Quick pass to the right, and that is knocked out of the air. Was it Green that knocked it out of the air?
Yeah, that's 2 plays in a row. Gio Green showing his very mature and experienced self as a football player. Not just a 5th year, but last year he was injured. So this is really his 6th year of being in a college program.
6 foot 220 out of Minneapolis Edison. Giovanni Green And now punting situation for Luther. The Oles have not dropped anyone back. Now drifting back. Is that Halleck then?
Yeah, Halleck is deep.
Okay, Halleck has just drifted back. Sometimes McNerney returns, but in this case it'll be Halleck. McNerney, in fact. Oh, they run a fake. They do run a fake, and to the right. Boy, it was third down. It was 4th down and 14. He picked up 3 yards on the fake. So the Oles did kind of have that inkling, apparently, by not sending McNerney out. But on 4th and 14, that's a tough one to hope to pick up.
Number 28, Liam.
Well, and so Coach Crochet is just looking for any kind of spark that he can give his team.
Sure.
In this case, maybe fool the Oles and pick up a 4th and long on a fake punt.
7:15 to go, second quarter. The Oles will start at their 43-yard line. You saw that Green was involved in that tackle. Barrett was announced as being on the tackle on the other side. Handoff Gartsky. Gartsky finds running room even after first contact out to the 50 for a 7-yard gain for Gartsky on first down.
Gartsky on the carry.
Well, Gartsky able to just kind of feel his way through that hole. For the most part, at least after he took that initial hit, he kind of had that head down with a forward lean perspective.
Reagan on the tackle, 2nd and 3, and fake on the handoff. Pass, open, catching that is Hammonds. Hammonds trying to dance his way up the far sideline for extra yardage. Caught it around the 40, which was already a 10-yard gain. Forced out of bounds over there for an Ole first down.
We saw the quickness of Hammonds on that play. After he caught the football one-on-one with a would-be tackler, able to avoid the tackle. Reminds me of Coach Olszewski's line about he's so quick he can get open in a phone booth. But nobody knows what a phone booth looks like anymore.
Well, that would be an interesting quiz for the college students at this point. Hammonds had 4 catches last week. Looking for a ball here for Hammonds. He catches it again. Deeks out of one man and got to pick a couple extra yards as the other players converge down to around the 21. That's a 17-yard gain for Hammonds to the 20-yard line.
Well, it looks like Theo Dorn is realizing that Luther's going to try to do everything they can to shut down Derek Hansen. And as a result, he's looking off Hansen and finding other receivers open for the Oles.
From the shotgun, the handoff is Gartsky. That's into traffic. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more than that on that play. Whitehill on the tackle.
Gartsky on the carry.
So nothing gained.
Stop by number 41, Jacob.
5:35 to go, second quarter. 19-0. St. Olaf with the lead over Luther.
Riley Butcher and into the ball game for the Oles, which means the Oles are now in a 3 tight end.
Yeah. Menz will come in motion from the right to the left of the formation. Shotgun snap to Doran. He brings his other player in motion. But before anything can be snapped, maybe a delay of game?
Snap infraction. Offense number 64. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Snap infraction. That's about 5 penalties marked off against the Oles in today's game, including those 2 unsportsmanlike after their touchdown and then the hit during the point after try.
Well, and to clarify, the second one was a personal foul, which was not a unsportsmanlike.
Thank you.
The only distinction, or the important distinction, if a player gets 2 unsportsmanlike, they exit the ball game.
Doran hands us off to Siegel Howard III. He batters his way back to the 20-yard line, picking up the 5 yards that was lost on the previous play.
Yeah, Howard able to break it back against the grain, kind of a misdirection. Don't know if it was blocked that way or just happened that way, but Howard able to pick up a nice gain on 2nd and 10.
Third down.
15.
Right, and now it's 3rd down and 10. Hand off to Howard again. He's got some running room for 5 yards. Tackled after that, leaving the Oles a 4th and 5 from the 15-yard line of Luther. Small, I should say, Whitehill is one of the final ones up off that tackle.
Timeout, Luther. Their 3rd and final timeout of the half.
So Luther is the team taking timeout here as the Oles face a little bit of a decision mark on 4th and 5. 4:21 to go, second quarter, leading 19-0.
It'll be 4th down and 5 from the 15.
Yeah, the important thing is, just don't know what kind of play call Coach Killian would have if he wanted to run Siegel Howard, been able to pick up 5 yards of crack the last 2 plays. He kind of limped off the field after that last play. So the Olies are very comfortable throwing the football, but I think it's important that with 4th and 5, those receivers need to get at least 5 yards down the field if they're going to do any kind of play action or short drags across the field.
Remember that the funeral service for Athletic Director Ryan Bowles is tomorrow here on campus at 2 p.m. at Bow Memorial Chapel. A reception in Skoglund to follow. That service will be streamed, so you can come to the St. Olaf website to see the streamed service tomorrow at 2. Otherwise, Bow Memorial Chapel. Ryan Bowles passing away after a strong fight against cancer over the summer. The Olies have elected to attempt a field goal. This will be the 3rd field goal attempt of the game. And from the 22, it's a 32-yard try. Halleck to hold for Swan. Good-looking snap. The kick has plenty of leg. And it is through the uprights. So that is his longest of the game. Swan 3 for 3 on field goal tries, 22-0 St. Olaf with 4:15 to go in the second quarter.
Well, with that field goal, the Olies have now gone on 7 different possessions this first half. The Olies have scored 5 times on those 7 possessions. 3 field goals, 2 touchdowns. Failure on 4th down and then 1 punt. So I think Coach Killian would be happy with the fact that they're moving the ball, getting into position. But I think to finish a drive would be the bigger emphasis as we go into the last couple minutes of the first half and think about the second half.
Nine for 12 last season on field goal attempts for Colin Swan. 9 for 12. His long last year was 38.
And he's very reliable. Anything inside of 32, 35. It's a great kind of bonus in the pocket for Coach Killian, knowing that he has a reliable short field goal kicker.
22-0 Olies. Hess on the kickoff. It'll come down at the 9 to the 15 and 20. And once again, the Olies making some very emphatic tackles. And I think it was Toby Call again on a special teams tackle for St. Olaf.
And the irony is, Kobe Call came to St. Olaf as a quarterback.
Okay.
And needed shoulder surgery right before he came to campus, and it was on the shelf for most of his freshman year. And now a year ago they switched him over to defense, and he's doing a really good job, special teams and playing safety.
Junior out of Barron, Wisconsin. 22-0 St. Olaf, 4:05 to go second quarter. Luther starts from their 27-yard line, marching left to right to run his Rose, and there's nowhere to go. Protects the ball. Barrett helps finish off on that play. And it looked like
Sowell.
Yeah.
Rose on the carry.
Jadon Sowell was the first man there, the senior from North Carolina.
Stop by number 6, Jadon Sowell.
And 1 yard.
Number 24, Noah Barrett.
Clock rolls toward 3:30 to go in this first half. 22-0. St. Olaf over Luther. 1 turnover by Luther. A couple of times they've lost the ball on downs, and they've punted several times as well. Feels like the sun is trying to break through the clouds a bit here. Handoff into a crowd. He'll make the 30-yard line.
And the Olives.
St. Olaf, their first time out of the half.
And the Olives take their first time out. I think Coach Killian feeling like if they can get a stop here, they not only would have 2 timeouts remaining for this half, but also what is now called in college football, it's not the 2-minute warning.
Okay.
It's the 2-minute timeout.
2-minute timeout.
It's kind of subtle, but I think there are times when the NCAA tries to dissociate itself from the NFL with different terminologies, and slight differences in some of the rules and rule enforcement. So this is just another.
St. Olaf Athletic Department has partnered with Hometown Ticketing to provide online ticket services and sales for home regular season football, volleyball, basketball, and hockey. Starting this fall, all tickets for home football, volleyball, basketball, and hockey will be sold online. No tickets will be available for purchase at the gate. Fans can download the Hometown Fan app to search, purchase, and manage their tickets. St. Olaf students, faculty, and staff can still get in free of charge with their St. Olaf ID. But get that Hometown Ticketing app on your phone. Come on out to football, volleyball, basketball, and hockey, and the other sports when you can. Quarterback in trouble, falls forward. He was forced down, though, by Barrett, who kind of made him turn and leads to a sack.
Well, the Olies have kind of changed their defensive approach. Playing Barrett and Gio Green as defensive ends, a little more speed on the edge, so that we saw so many times last year a relatively slower player than either Barrett or Green kind of gets outflanked by a quarterback who reverse pivots and gets to the outside. That time Barrett equally quick to the quarterback and able to make the stop.
Fourth down now for Luther. They get set to punt the ball. Low punt. Boy, that could be trouble. McNerney will wait, see it take a big hop, grab it, and get buried right away by Captain. Still, his grabbing the ball saved them some yardage, and with 2:26 to go in the second quarter, the Olies have decent field position at their own 36-yard line.
Well, McNerney must figure that he had such a big return on the other one that even with a return of 0 on that play, his average per return is still pretty good for the ball game.
Yeah, certainly one of the highlights of the first half was McNerney's return that set up the Olies deep in Luther territory. The play also included a penalty on Luther, and the Olies got into the end zone eventually with a touchdown. Right now leading 22-0. Fake on the handoff, little pass on the run. Hansen gets a big block, crosses the 40 to the 43. Is about 7 yards on that pass play.
Doran completes to Derek Hansen.
Almost looked like a pick play.
Gain of 7 on the play.
Evan Hammond's laying a block.
Quick snap.
At the line of scrimmage.
Doran looking for McNerney. Catches it at the 30. Down to the 21-yard line. About a 36-yard play.
And now we're going to get the 2-minute timeout.
This is the 2-minute timeout. 2-minute timeout.
So 2-minute timeout. We'll keep it here. Mighty 920 KDHL. Here's the play to McNerney. Watching it on the replay. Nice catch and got a few extra steps after that. Dragged down by Carl Furman.
And a good throw by Theo Doran, kind of lofting it up and over the top, and McNerney with his speed able to run under it for the big gain for the Olies.
Olies take a break next week, no game. Then they are at McAllister on the 28th for a 7 p.m. game. And then 3 home games in a row with Hamlin on the 5th of October, Carleton on the 12th, and College of St. Scholastica on the 19th. The next several weeks for the Olies. Luther has Coe at home, Anderson University at home, and then goes to University of Dubuque. The rest of their schedule includes Loris, Central, Nebraska Wesleyan, Wartburg, Buena Vista, and Simpson. They play in the American Rivers Conference. Wartburg won it last year at 8-0. Coe was second at 7-1, followed by Central 6-2, Dubuque 5-3, Loris 4-4, Nebraska Wesleyan 2-6, Simpson and Buena Vista 2-6, and Luther was 0-8.
Well, total offense here coming up at the 2-minute timeout. The Olies 38 plays for 223 yards. Luther 27 plays, 34 yards.
First down 10 for the Olies after the big pass play and the 2-minute timeout. The handoff, fake the handoff, pass the ball to Hansen, and Hansen makes it to the 11-yard line for about a 9-yard gain.
We just wonder if between Doran and Killian, they want to feed Hansen again, get him another touchdown, and have him get consecutive D3 Team of the Week.
Gartsky on the run, caught up from behind by Charity, tackled forward to the 9. 2-yard pickup is enough for an Ole first down with 1:24 to go in the first half. Officials are coming together for something.
Clock operator, please put 1 minute and 29 seconds on the clock. 1 minute and 29, and the clock will start on the ready.
All right, just a little of adjustment there.
Yeah, this is the one time where a first down results in the clock stopping, so timekeepers are probably getting used to that. This is the first year Division III is playing under that rule.
Okay. And now it does wind again. Skemp goes wide to the right. I formation behind Doran, who's under center. Finn Buffington, the center, the junior out of Minneapolis, and De La Salle. I formation, deep man Gartsky, and fake bear. Looking to throw. It is caught. Touchdown. Touchdown, St. Olaf. Men's, I believe.
It looks like men's because I think Derek Hansen was blocked by a defender as he was trying to release down the line of scrimmage. Kind of took him out of the play, but also opened up a nice passing lane for Theodoran to throw to men's for the touchdown.
St. Olaf now leads 28-0, pending the extra point. 1:04 to go in the second quarter. Very quick drive of about 5 plays, 64 yards. Swan, point after try, is good.
Swan's kick is up, and it's good.
So 29-0 as we see Doran jump throw into the end zone right across the letter A in St. Olaf. And men's celebrates that catch.
Here we go, Ole fans. You know what comes next.
5 plays, 64 yards. Big passing on that drive. Some big passes. A lot of first half points for St. Olaf today. 29-0, 1:04 remaining in the half. We'll feature volleyball coming up at halftime. Interview with the new head coach along with a senior captain. Review stats, review scores from around the MIAC as well as non-conference action continues. St. John's matching up with Wartburg in a big battle of rated teams, both in the top 15 or 16, I guess. Certainly both in the top 20. Hess on the kick. High end over end, fielded at the 8, near sideline. To the 20 and 25, 30 and more. To the 40, and he'll be pushed out of bounds, maybe by Hess. But still, a great return by Luther, so they're in business in plus territory. Granted, there's only 53 seconds to go in the first half, and they have no timeouts.
And the Ole's just seemed like they didn't have enough special teams players on the left-hand side of the field to address the run back.
And there Hess kind of hemmed him in along the sideline, forced him out of bounds. From the 48-yard line, knowing that Luther will receive the second half kickoff. They're down, however, 29-0. 4 wide, blitz comes, it's picked up, Rose throws it, that's going to be intercepted, but, whoa, wait, was it caught or not? No, not caught. 2 Oles came together. It would have been picked off if one Ole didn't fend off the other, and then it almost fell into the receiver's hands after all that. This would be an interesting replay to watch.
I think it was Thrower and Halleck maybe that...
Pass intended for number 13, Bryce Glasby, is incomplete. Broken up by number 1, Jacob Halleck.
Boy, and again, on the field, there is no replay anyway. On the field right away ruled incomplete, but I'd be... see if we can see that super slow-mo as they get set for the next play as well, but... yeah, definitely hit the ground. And this is incomplete on the subsequent play, 2nd and 10. Great job to get those different angles and sneaking it in before the next play as well. Fantastic job in the control room. And now it'll be 3rd and 10 with consecutive incomplete passes.
And Luther has to be a little bit careful. There's still 43 seconds, and the Ole offense is kind of quick strike when they want to be. So I don't know if Luther will choose to run the ball to force St. Olaf to take one of their remaining 2 timeouts, but we'll see.
Rose awaits the snap, hands the ball off. Gaminini races to the outside, wrestled toward the out of bounds by Short.
Aiden Damiani on the carry.
And that almost the same as an incomplete pass from the clock standpoint.
Sure.
37 seconds to go. Luther looking at a 4th and 6 with.
Gain of 5. It's 4th down and 5.
I guess they will punt. Good decision on Coach Trochet's part.
They've got to hurry a little bit because the play clock is down to 10. They're still getting themselves situated. Play clock now at 5. Now at 2 and 1.
And they have no timeouts left.
No.
Delay of game. Offense, number 4. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Well, if Coach Trochet had any ideas of a fake punt or just going for it on 4th down, he probably is putting that one in his pocket, knowing that it's going to be something order of 4th and 10 here.
Coach Kaz poking his head in. You have a good summer? Great summer, he says.
Number 1, Halleck, back deep for the Oles.
Longtime basketball coach for the Oles in the booth here for a different viewpoint on things. Halleck on the return. He actually slides to a knee. That play's done. That play's done. He slid to his knee to catch the ball. I suppose if he but he did catch the ball with his knee on the ground, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it was done. It was done. Almost got tackled, but it was done.
I think it may have been a case of a little bit late whistle. And you always try to be late with the whistle rather than early. But I think 92 was realizing that he had been down and kind of let go of him right away.
They're at their own 11-yard line. We'll see if St. Olaf, with 29 seconds to go and 2 timeouts, if they try to drive the field. Doran awaits a snap. They're certainly going to run a play. Doran has all sorts of time. Only 3 rushing him. Throw downfield. Caught across the 25 to the 30. And is he out of bounds over there?
Yeah, it's McNerney on the reception.
Okay. So this started at the 16-yard line, I believe.
Pass complete to McNerney.
And he's out to the 32, so a 16-yard gain for an Ole first down. Still 20 seconds. St. Olaf snaps the ball. Doran looks deep down the field, right sideline, overthrew Skemp on the play. Coverage back there by Williams.
Well, I'm not sure Skemp had a chance to even catch that ball in bounds. It was a little bit wide. And I don't think a catchable inbounds for the Oles.
2nd down and 10 for the Oles.
13 seconds remaining, second quarter. 29-0. St. Olaf with the lead over Luther. Volleyball is our halftime feature. New head coach for the Oles. We'll find out and meet Alicia Wood during our upcoming segment. 2nd down and 10. Wideouts both ways for Doran. Still has all sorts of time. Throws it over the middle. And trying to race to the outside is Hansen. With 5 seconds to go, the Oles are just going to let the timer. Did they take timeout?
They took a timeout.
They did.
Timeout. St. Olaf. Their 2nd timeout of the half. Game clock. Operator, please put 6 seconds on the clock.
Okay, so they did take
6 seconds on the clock. Thank you.
They did take a timeout right away. Even as that clock did run, they took a timeout right away.
And while it might seem kind of odd or mean, if you will, for the Oles kind of going for it, trying to push the ball down the field in this situation late in the first half with a 29-0 lead. A lot of this has to do with prepping for future situations where the Oles might need to, much like they did against Gustavus a year ago, where they had to go 80 yards, 70 yards, and a score to tie the ball game and put it into overtime. So good practice for the Oles running their 2-minute or 43-second offense.
They didn't have a lot of time on the board when they got the ball this time after Luther had a couple of incomplete passes and then a run where Short tackled the guy out of bounds, and all that created the need for Luther to punt, and the Ole's with the opportunity to move up the field. Now with 6 seconds to go, they are at their own 36-yard line. The deep, and this is just 3rd down and 7, the deep men are about 60 yards or 50 yards up the field as far as those secondary guys. Trying to throw the ball, heaving it down the field for a Hail Mary, and Hansen is in the vicinity. That's intercepted. That ball is intercepted by Reagan. Hansen was behind everybody, but I think some others could see that the ball was going to fall a little short. And one of the officials is minus his hat. Does that mean someone ran out of bounds?
No, I think it means that he had one flag and didn't have another flag.
So there's penalties to mark off here, or to talk about anyway?
It'll be interesting to see if maybe it was roughing the passer. Theo let go, and just don't know if he was hit late, in which case it would extend the game one play, extend the half one play.
Officials huddled up to discuss this at the 35-yard line on the Ole's side of midfield. Clock shows no time. 29-0 St. Olaf as we head into halftime, but will there be another play before we go to halftime?
And if it is roughing the passer, it would put the ball at about the 49-yard line.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 5. That's a 15-yard penalty. It's an automatic first down. After the play, personal foul, St. Olaf, number 77. That's 15 yards from that spot. It'll be first down. We will have an untimed down.
Back at the original line of scrimmage, though?
Yep, it'll be, looks like 36-yard line would be the line of scrimmage.
So no time on the clock, as you heard, one untimed down, barring another defensive penalty. 29-0. The score was 3-0 at the quarter break, so the Ole's have scored 26 points on field goal, touchdown, field goal, touchdown. It's a busy second quarter here at Klein Field at Manitou. So we're awaiting the ball to be placed at the 36-yard line. And this time the Ole's are not showing receivers in formation yet. No one's broken out wide yet. They go through the formality of marking 15 yards one way then the other. Is that correct?
I always thought that seemed kind of silly.
Yeah, the official just marked 15 yards upfield and 15 yards back downfield. Because, again, the offsetting fouls that do still result in the opportunity for St. Olaf to get one more play. And now they've now they got players going out wide to the far side. McNerney and Skemp.
I was going to say, with the hit that Theo took at the end of that play, Coach Killian may want to just down the ball, but it looks like they're going to go for it.
Yeah, 4 wide. Doran, there's 3 rushers. Doran races forward to get himself set up, directing downfield. Lets it fly. McNerney is the nearby Ole. It bounces off of somebody's legs, goes flying out of bounds on that far sideline. So a little bit of drama, but the first half comes to an end with St. Olaf reeling off 26 second quarter points and leading this game at the half by a score of 29-0. Before we queue up our interview, we're going to take a little break on the Mighty 920 KDHL. Hear from one of our sponsors. St. Olaf leads it here 29-0 at the half over at Luther.
Federated Mutual Insurance Company is passionate about the care and enrichment of the next generation. At the heart of our charitable focus is youth mentoring and our support of Big Brothers, Big Sisters. We are proud of our employees who are currently volunteering to be a big brother, big sister, big couple, or a big family. And yet there are hundreds of children still waiting for a big. Ignite your year. Empower potential today. Consider this your personal invitation to learn more about Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Together, we can make a difference.
All right, so at the half, a 29-0 lead for St. Olaf. The teams are just now making their way off the field. And Mark, I guess a word about the first half before we go ahead and jump to our special volleyball interview and meeting the volleyball coach and one of her senior captains.
Well, and after a relatively uninspired first quarter, the Ole's kind of got things going. And now in terms of yardage, in 45 plays, 263 yards versus Luther, 30 plays for 39 yards. So averaging 1.3 yards per play. St. Olaf averaging just under 6 yards a play. Individually, Theodorin, 18 for 27 for 211 yards. Gartsky, 11 carries for 28 net. Siegel Howard, 5 carries for 26 net. For Luther, Rose is 1 for 9 for 10 yards. Damiani is 9 carries, a net of 25. So pretty dominant performance, kind of what we would have expected coming into this ball game, given where the programs are. And I think for a little bit of time we saw Luther compete fairly well with St. Olaf.
Well, it's 3-0 after one quarter.
Well, and I think what we're seeing now is so many first-year players for Luther playing in a relatively humid day. It's not really hot, but it's very humid. High school players are generally not used to playing 15-minute quarters. They play 12-minute quarters, and it's kind of that last half of the second quarter that tends to wear a team down. Plus the fact that the Ole's are moving different people in and out of the lineup. They're not playing just 22 players. They've probably played 40 already this half. Luther, without the depth, most of those players have been on the field every time that their offense has been on the field or defense. So not a lot of substitutions on the part of Luther.
All right, St. Olaf leads 29-0 at the break. We'll recap the scoring specifically and review other scores in the MIAC when we come back after the interview. Want to remind you that it is a tackle cancer game today, and in memory of Athletic Director Ryan Bowles, St. Olaf is displaying the initials RB at each of his athletic venues. His initials are on the front of the press box here at Klein Field at Manitou. And throughout his time at St. Olaf, Ryan battled cancer while continuing to lead the Ole athletic department. The service for Ryan Bowles is tomorrow, Sunday at 2 p.m. at Bow Memorial Chapel. It will be streamed, or if you are at the service, 2 o'clock at Bow Memorial Chapel, with a reception in Skoglund to follow. Looking at football, it's 29-0 St. Olaf over Luther. Looking to volleyball, let's bring in our weekly feature. St. Olaf volleyball is what we're getting into today for the feature. Happy to bring in someone who is very familiar with the program, with the town, with the college, a senior captain, Macy Rogers, and someone who's a little bit more new to everything. Alicia Wood comes in as the first-year coach for the Ole's. First of all, welcome to both of you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
And Coach Alicia Wood, June 4th, I believe, was kind of the hire date for you. That wasn't that long ago. So you've had to get up to speed. The season has already started. How has it gone in kind of getting your feet underneath you here?
Yes, so I kind of hit the ground running from the day of accepting the job to moving and getting acquainted to Northfield. The team has been extremely welcoming and open, and the Northfield and St. Olaf community are the same, like very open, and have made the transition to St. Olaf very easy for me. And everything is just going phenomenally great so far this season, and just excited to see how far we go.
And Macy, it's a transition to have a new coach come in your senior year, and you and I think just one other senior, so a small senior class. But how about welcoming in a new coach? What are you guys doing to help her out?
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a change, but an amazing change, and we've been trying to welcome her here with open arms.
Coach, how did you find out about this? What's a little bit of the process to stepping into this position? How did you find out about the opportunity here in Northfield?
Yes, so I had known about St. Olaf from the academic rankings, as well as just like the namesake of it being a very popular college across the country for liberal arts. So when the position became open, I knew how strong MIAC volleyball was and how amazing that the campus was, from the campus itself being so beautiful to the fact that it is a high academic liberal arts college was very intriguing, and everything just seemed to fall into place from my interview process, and thought that it would be the perfect fit for me.
So, Macy, let me backtrack with you a little bit, since she talks about St. Olaf being a school she was aware of, and your hometown, Colorado Springs, is a little ways from here. You know, It's a long day's drive. How did you land here at St. Olaf?
It was honestly on accident. I was with a friend at a volleyball tournament, and she was touring St. Olaf, so I thought I'd just stop by and go with her, and I fell in love with the college and ended up coming here.
It has been an amazing ride.
Yes, it has.
What can you say about great seasons, NCAA tournament appearances? You know, played in the MIAC tournament final last year. What has stood out about the run for you so far?
Well, I've been so fortunate with this team. We just have such a great community, and I think that really helps with everything. I mean, we're all such good friends, and we all care about each other, and I think that really builds into success.
Coach, players come from many different areas when it comes to college sports. What does it take? And you've got experience coaching a couple of different colleges at different schools along the way. What does it take to build kind of a family feel, camaraderie? Players that may have even played on competing teams in, the Twin Cities and everything. Now they're on a team together. What does it take to kind of form that team?
Yeah, I think a combination of just leadership training, as well as expressing and sharing our values and what we want as our team culture to be like, what we want our team to feel like, and how do we make our team a family environment, an inclusive community. How do we also champion volleyball on the court and make sure that we are competitive in the gym and we're reaching those goals from the athletic side as well. So it's a balance of those two factors, but I think it just starts with players that are committed to the process, who want to be here, who want to be a part of this program.
Macy, what is cool about that, of meeting players from different parts of the country that all come together for a common cause? What's been kind of a neat aspect of that for you?
I think it just shows how much our love of the sport brings us together, and I think that's a great part. And then also just being able to meet people and hear about different hometowns is so fun.
Let's get on the court a little bit here. The season is underway, but first of all, to backtrack, there were a lot of seniors on the team last year, and I guess I'll start with Macy. So those seniors that were the players you looked up to. Now you're a senior right now, but to lose a big group of about 6 seniors, how hard is it to say goodbye to those girls?
It was a very hard goodbye. I've been with them since I began, and that was like a very huge difference to have, but I always have friends on the team, so it makes the transition a little bit easier, but I still keep in touch, and they're doing great, but it was a little bit of a loss for me. It was a big loss.
Coach, how do you kind of get things together on what the goals are, who's going to play where when you come into a new team that in this case lost a number of seniors, as I've just indicated? So when you're starting to map things out for the season, what process do you go through?
I would say, for us, we just start with the mindset that everyone is here to compete. Everyone is here to have a healthy balance of competition. We want to challenge each other on the court to make every single one of us better, as well as pushing our teammates who may be ahead of us to be better. So everybody in our program has a complete understanding and mindset that they are here to compete. They are here to play great volleyball. And I think that in itself is what helps us to be able to have people be able to step up into leadership roles on the court, from vocal leaders to leading by example this year, from having a large senior class graduating.
And how has it gone on the court? As we're talking, I believe the team is 4-2 on the season. Most recently a win over River Falls, which would have been on the 7th of September, part of a tournament. How is the team doing? How would you rate how the team is doing so far, Alicia? Yeah,
I think from week 1 to week 2, we made some really huge gains, and we grew as a team on and off the court. I think we definitely stepped up in our training as well as execution against River Falls and Simpson and Minnesota Morris, and it was just amazing to see how things played and turned out for us last weekend, and hoping to carry it into Iowa these next 2 weekends.
Okay, because there's more tournaments coming up before you start to get things going at home. So you'll be at the Loris Invitational. Strength of schedule, the schedule for Loris on Friday the 13th would have been Dubuque and St. Norbert. Loris and La Crosse are also coming up. How strong are those teams? Are you familiar with them and strength-wise?
Yes, so I've been in Region 9 for a while now, so I'm very familiar with Loris, Dubuque, St. Norbert as well, even though they're Region 8. But they are all pretty strong teams, and Dubuque, I think, might have been first or second in the ARC last year, so it'll be a competitive game. I'm looking forward to seeing how we show up against the ARC conference this year, but I definitely think those two teams are a bit different than they were last year with some of their fifth-year seniors graduating. So excited to see what we look like and what they also look like on the other side of the net.
Macy, how has the team been doing from your perspective? How's it going?
Honestly, I think we've been doing really well. We meshed really well. We've taken in the freshmen, and we just are one big team again, and it feels great. And I'm excited to see where it takes us this season.
What is your role? How has your role evolved over time from coming in and learning to play with a team at the college level to now being a senior? Just how has your role evolved? And you're an outside hitter.
Yep.
So, just kind of take me through that a bit.
Yeah, so my role has started more as a freshman, just looking in and learning from the best. And then I've come into more of a leadership position the more I get older, and I think that's been sort of a special thing. I like being able to lead more by example and help lead the freshmen coming in how the seniors when I came in led me, and I think that's a pretty special thing.
What is the role of the captains in your mind? And the captains include Macy as well as Catherine Deist and Dory Hobby. What are the roles of captains?
I think majority lead by example, show what SOVB really is, lead with good character and kindness, and then also just the communication aspect to let people know what's going on, the little things, what we wear to practice, just that kind of stuff we take care of.
Style of play. How would you explain, Alicia, what the style is for the Olies? What are you guys good at? What is kind of the reputation you want to develop for your team?
It's hard to say, but I will say from like a previous season to current season standpoint, a lot of teams have seen that we've changed our offense and are a lot more quick in our tempo. So that's a big change out on the court for us. But I think as far as what our team looks like from serve receive or defensive standpoint, fairly similar to previous seasons. But I think our offense is definitely a lot different than last year, and I think we're doing really well with it.
So when it comes to a different tempo, Macy, how does that, the transition of that, who's doing the setting right now, and how do you like kind of the tempo change for the team?
I love the tempo change. It's a little higher. It's a lot easier to get in front of it, and I think the Stars have picked on it really well.
Okay. Now, Selena was the libero last season. She was a fifth year, won a lot of awards over time, Players of the Week multiple times. Alicia, what does the defense look like, that libero role? Has someone grabbed it, or are you auditioning players yet for it? What does it look like on defense?
So far, Morgan Ryan has been playing in that spot for us and has done a really good job of really standing out in games and tournaments, making it really hard for opposing teams to be able to score anywhere on the left side of the floor against her.
As far as the attack and the number of options hitting-wise, how has that developed so far when it comes to the number of different players that can hit?
I would say we have a good amount of depth, which is really exciting, but also really hard as a coach to make playing decisions. But it is a good challenge to have. We have a lot of really strong hitters and blockers, and they really support each other and give each other feedback to be successful, whether they're on the court or off the court, which is amazing to see. So that good camaraderie and just being an overall good teammate, one of the best for our program, I think is really helping them to challenge each other in a healthy way.
Macy, what is the communication on the court during play and calling for the ball and just indicating what the play might be and things like that? How much communication is there? How important is that to running a good offense?
It's pretty much talking nonstop. There's always either telling where the ball is, where the block should be, spots are open for hitters, the setters telling us where to hit or what runs they want to play or plays they want to run. And then so it's pretty much nonstop talking constantly.
What do you like about the home facility?
I love playing out.
Yeah, what do you like about it?
It's a blast being around like all your supporters, and you know that they're all on your side and they're cheering for you, and it's a different kind of rush for sure.
Is there a team, whether it's a MIAC team or someone else, that is a favorite rival of yours that has developed over the years?
There's a few. Of course, there's Carleton. We always are hometown rivals, of course. And then Gustavus, we're going to get them. We're going to get them. And then Northwestern has always been, for some reason, a huge rival for us that we always want to beat. So,
Coach, it sounds like you're familiar with the MIAC. You already mentioned that. Thoughts on favorites or what it takes to compete in the MIAC? Just how do you feel about the conference?
Yeah, I think it just takes, for the teams that are at the top half of the conference play, a lot of grit because we are in a tough conference, and I think it can be anybody's game to win conference for the regular season or the conference tournament. So just taking every game by stride and not expecting too much of our opponents based on their previous matchups for non-conference schedule. But I think it is exciting to have such a competitive conference.
What got you into coaching? Why did you decide to become a coach?
It was kind of always a passion of mine. When I was a little kid, I actually started off as a basketball player, so I used to want to play in the WNBA and be a WNBA coach. And then when I found volleyball when I was in 7th or 8th grade, it just completely transformed my love of sports, and I just transitioned from wanting to be that basketball coach and basketball player and collegiately to making everything the same focus but on volleyball.
Macy, a senior, how's the academic side going? What's the future hold for you there?
It's going great. I'm almost done with my major. I'm an economics major, and I'm hoping to do something exciting with it. Still figuring that part out, but I'm really excited to see what the future holds outside of St. Olaf.
And the experience overall of being in Northfield for the last few years, for the school years, and enjoying surviving the winters?
Oh, yeah. It's been a 10 out of 10 for sure. It's like a little Hallmark town. That's what I tell people. So it's been the best choice for me, honestly.
All right. Any other things to mention, Alicia, about the start of the season here? And the home opener comes in late September, I believe. Anything else to add to cap it off?
Yes, our home opener is September 28th. We're really excited for the opportunity to play on home court soon and hope to have a really great crowd to be there to support us.
All right. Alicia Wood is the new head coach. Macy Rogers is a senior captain. Appreciate your time. I look forward to getting to as many of the matches as I can, and good luck on the season.
Thank you.
All right, a lot of fun to bring in the volleyball team, volleyball representatives anyway, and they've had some great runs recently. NCAA tournament first round last year, MIAC runner-up a season ago, MIAC semifinals the year before, NCAA tournament in 2019. The volleyball program has certainly trended upward, a change in coaches now, but we look forward to Alicia continuing on the strong aspect of things that Emily had going on.
It'll be interesting to see how the transition works, at least based on early returns. It looks like really no hiccup to begin the season. The Ollies playing very well against some pretty good opponents.
And most recently, they're playing at the tournament at Dubuque, the Loris Invitational this weekend. Yesterday, they had a 3-1 win over Dubuque. Vanskoy had 15 kills. Ryan had some big dig numbers, mentioning Ryan, the new libero. 3-1 win over St. Norbert yesterday as well. And then among the activity today, they did score a win coming from behind against Loris, rallying from a deficit to win 3-2, and then playing lacrosse in their second match of the day and final match of the tournament today. We'll sneak away for a real quick break on the Mighty 920 KDHL, Faribault, Minnesota. Back for the second half next. It's St. Olaf 29, Luther 0 in this home football opener for the Ollies. Back right after this.
Dreaming of the perfect home in Faribault? Look no further than Evan Knutson Homes, your local Weikert Realty expert. Evan Knutson knows the community inside and out, helping families just like yours find the home that fits their needs and budget. Whether you're buying your first home or looking to upgrade, Evan is here to guide you every step of the way. Trust experience, trust commitment, trust Evan Knutson Homes.
Weikert Realty in Faribault.
Call 507-210-9140 today and start your journey home.
So a 29-0 lead for the Ollies over the Norse. St. Olaf leads this all-time series 41-21-2. Last 5 games have gone St. Olaf's way, 5 straight wins. Certainly looking good to continue that string here at the half before the series takes a break for at least a little while, though Coach Trochet indicated there'll be efforts to get the series back started again. Only one non-conference game next year. That'll be University of Northwestern. And Northwestern actually plays tonight. They're hosting Bethel. Bethel starting up kind of a new era with a new head coach.
A new era, and sounds like from everything I know about the fellow that they hired, very accomplished football coach. Been at Bethel 7 or 8, 9 years and knows the kind of the ethos or what makes Bethel tick, both from an institution standpoint, but also their football program.
Mike McElroy, a nice feature on him today in the Trib, if you want to take a look at that. But their game is tonight with Bethel at Northwestern. What about some of the scores of games that are going on? Do you have those handy, Mark?
I do. With 7 minutes to go in the third quarter, St. John's now leading Wartburg 21-7. Going into the game, Wartburg ranked number 10 in the country, St. John's number 16. So maybe a mini upset, but this early in the season, we really don't know if some of those preseason rankings or early season rankings are all that accurate.
Hess will kick off. Remember that Luther won the toss. They deferred to the second half, so they're getting the ball here. Teams had traded turning over the ball on downs early on. A field goal for St. Olaf in the first quarter gave them a 3-0 lead at the quarter break, and then scored 26 points in the second quarter, leads 29-0. Kickoff return out across the 25, almost to the 30-yard line. That'll be the spot that they start from. As
not very common that the starting running back makes the tackle on special teams, but Gus Gartsky putting a shoulder pad into the return man and bringing him down for a nice form tackle.
No kidding. Yeah, I was watching 27 run off, and in my head I'm thinking 27. Oh, wait. That is Gartsky. First down for Rose. Looks left, looks right, overthrows his target for an incomplete pass intended for Gonzalez. And an incomplete pass to start off the second half.
Well, Rose has a good delivery when he throws that football. Just not very accurate. Part of it was the Oles had pretty good coverage on the wide receiver on the far side of the field. And may have been just a straight throwaway.
For the Oles, you've got Barrett and Vasquez. I think Mikkel is out there as well. A running play. Kettlehut got into the backfield, but the running back avoided him. Still not able to gain much on that. Maybe got 2 or 3 yards on the play. It still leaves them with a 3rd and long. And the Oles substitute freely on defense. But
call in.
Okay.
Hammond's in. The other Hammonds.
Thrower is in the secondary.
It's 3rd down.
And this is a 3rd down. Grady Rose, the sophomore quarterback, has trips to the near side. Receiver to the right as well. He's got some time to throw. Airs it out. Wow, that was Tate Sauerwein was the closest player to that one, and he's the injured Oles standing here on the sidelines with his sunglasses on.
And, of course, Cam Hammonds, twin brother of Evan Hammonds. One plays offense, one plays defense. So kind of hard to keep track of those Hammonds brothers. But number 18 on defense, number 84 on offense.
There is no grounding as there was a receiver in the area.
Wow. Kind of liberal definition there. I didn't see a receiver, but that's okay. Keep the game moving.
It looked like the quarterback was expecting the wide receiver to break the route off at about 15 yards, but he kept going down the field.
Punter is Lillidahl. McNerney, the return man. He signals fair catch, steps up, gets the ball at about the 46 or 47-yard line. And after the punt by Luther, the Oles get great field position at their 46, leading this game 29-0 for their first possession of the third quarter coming right now.
And it appears to me that the Ole coaches may have said something to McNerney at halftime. And it might have been something on the lines of, we have 8.5 games remaining this season. There's no reason for you to do what you're doing on the punt returns. Just call fair catch. We'll take the ball where you catch it.
46-yard line it'll be. And the handoff is to Gartsky. Races to the outside. Strung out pretty well. Spun around. Finally brought down. Jeremiah Williams had a hit on him. Knutson had a hit on him. But then it was the third man in, Brown, that made the tackle. And no gain. No gain for Gartsky.
And Skimp coming in motion, kind of what I call a wham block, kicking out the defensive end on the other side of the field.
No backs in the backfield. McNerney catches this down the field, wrestled down at the 46-yard line of Luther. It's an 8-yard gain, leaving a third down and a couple.
Well, good to see Doran have confidence in more than just one or two receivers. McNerney, a senior, obviously should be counted on to do a lot of good things for the Olies this year in the passing game.
2 each way, handoff Gartsky, plenty of room to run. He'll pick up the first down to the 41-yard line, 42-yard line. You can give him 4 yards on a 3rd down and 2 and a St. Olaf first down.
Stop by number 8, Tyler Reagan.
Reagan on the tackle.
Number 32, Noah Heinke also.
In another case where offensive line created that gain for Gartsky, just able to follow his lineman, pick up the first down.
And on the next play, Gartsky again gets a big hole to run through, turned backward, but he still cuts up the field to around the 36-yard line for possibly a 6-yard gain. That line up front is Buffington, the junior center, Perlman, a junior guard, Vaeda, senior guard, Lutkins, a senior tackle, and Hartwig, a junior tackle for those 5 tackle to tackle. Lots of time to throw the ball. Man finds himself open. That's Skemp down to around the 20, rolled down to the 18-yard line. Is pickup of 19 yards.
Pass is complete to Will Skemp.
Well, and again, as Dorn is finding receivers other than just Derek Hansen, he's finding other receivers that are open and running good routes and good throws by Doran.
1st and 10. Handoff Gartsky, finds running room, far hash mark, down to about the 5-yard line. Will be a 14-yard gain for the Mankato East Cougar grad.
Gartsky carries for 14.
Boy, he was not touched for most of that gain before he's finally brought down at the 5-yard line. 1st and goal for St. Olaf. Doran is under center. Gartsky with the ball, makes one man miss and stopped around the 2. Brown appeared to be the first man to make contact with him. It's a pickup of about 3.
And Gartsky showing good ball security. Looked like Luther was trying to strip the ball from him, but able to secure the ball. One of the real emphases that Coach Pulley puts on his running backs.
Doran will keep this one, and Doran will take it in from a couple of yards out, and St. Olaf scores on their first possession of the 3rd quarter. From the 2-yard line, Doran on the run, and St. Olaf 35-0 pending the extra point.
And again, I think we're seeing the effect of wearing the opponent down today.
Lining up as if they're going to run a 2-point play. That swinging gate, the center with the ball was all by himself. Matched up by Luther. Now they've set up for a Swan extra point try. 35-0 St. Olaf. Extra point coming in a moment. Snapped in place. The kick is on its way. It is good. And St. Olaf extends their lead to 36-0.
Remaining in the 3rd quarter. St. Olaf 36.
About a 9-play drive. 54 yards is what I have it at. And St. Olaf with a very strong start to this second half mark. You'd expect that as the second half goes on, we'll see more and more players, maybe even some different guys on that blocking front.
Oh, no question about it. I think, I'm not saying Theo might be done, but he might be done for the day. I know Coach Porter always felt like if we had a 4-touchdown lead and scored then to begin the second half, which is exactly what the scenario is here today, starters for the offense, for the most part, would pretty much be replaced by substitutes. So we'll check and see. I'm sure Coach Killian feels a little bit of he knows what Joe Trochet is going through on the other sideline, knowing what it was like when he was going up against Caruso and St. Thomas in his first year coaching here at St. Olaf.
Coach Trochet, who spent time coaching here and is in fact an Ole grad. Now in his 3rd year with Luther, and not many upperclassmen, so they're building from the base. And as we said before, a number of Ole former players are with the program. On the return, pretty decent return. That was taken by Wyatt. Crosses the 20, maybe the 25, maybe not quite the 25. So, I mean, a decent position here for Luther to start in a game the Ole's lead 36-0, 10:33 to go in the third quarter.
Tackle at the
25-yard line. And Howard making the tackle.
First down and 10.
Gartsky, the other running back, made a tackle on a special teams earlier. 5 wide, no running backs back there for Rose. He's got the ball, looks, passes, and Jadon Sowell is right there to make the tackle on a completed pass, but it might be a loss of a yard or two.
Well, and Jadon is another one of the Ole secondary, very experienced defensive back. He's a senior, he's played a lot of football for the Ole's, even though he's a backup cornerback for the Ole's, at least at this point in the season.
Logan Butts, a sophomore defensive lineman from the state of Georgia, among the D linemen that are in there right now. So is William Howell. He's on that D line as Rose looks to pass, throw, caught, tackled right away. I think Deontay Thomas as one of those in on the tackle, but a short gain across to the 31-yard line, about an 8-yard gain.
It's third down.
Third and four for Luther. Titan Small is on that defensive line.
Did you say Logan Bosch is in as a linebacker, number 26?
Nope, did not credit him yet.
From Eden Prairie.
Nice. Running on this play, right side of the line, falling forward is Damiani. He's going to be close. He got the first down, I believe, on a 3rd and 4. Picked up the 4 he needed just on a run. Yes, we're certainly seeing the depth of St. Olaf. Finn Qualls is back out there. He plays a lot anyway, even though he's not the starter necessarily. Barrett is back out there on the D-line. And before this play starts, a timeout.
St. Olaf, their first time out of the half.
I think that was a timeout related to a misalignment or maybe even a substitution that didn't get done correctly. Might have been that the Ole's only had 10 on the field.
And is that, let's see, that kind of thing maybe is inevitable when you've got young players and trying to rotate in a lot, but still the coaches don't want to see it.
Well, and, you know, a lot of it's about communication, and it's getting used to the communication and how do you tell a player you're going in and who you're going in for. And sometimes it's just a call from the sideline that says we're going to run Pittsburgh 23 defense on this one. And players, whether they're substitutes or starters, need to know what personnel group gets in based on that defensive call.
Funeral service for Ryan Bowles is tomorrow here on campus. Bow Memorial Chapel. Reception to follow in Skoglund. The service is at 2. It will be live streamed as well. The service for Athletic Director Ryan Bowles, who passed away due to cancer in June. It's first down and 10 for Luther. Again, empty back. No, it wasn't an empty backfield. And, in fact, Rose will try and use his running back as a blocker, and he'll barrel into a pile-up at the 38-yard line. Where were they scrimmaging from? The 35? So about a 3-yard gain. 3-yard gain.
Rose on the carry for the Norse.
Rose, a sophomore quarterback for this very young team from Luther that has 4 freshmen and a sophomore among their starting 5 offensive linemen. 4 freshmen and a sophomore. Rose to throw, looks one way then the other, a little deke, shoulder deke, and throws it to the outside. He had a man in the vicinity, but that was pretty much a throwaway. I think it was intended for Gonzalez, and it'll be now it'll be a 3rd down and about 7.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question that was a throwaway. It looked like
Pass is incomplete. It's 3rd down.
Tony Avila Tovelin was right there in coverage for the Ole's.
So it's 3rd down and a few for Luther. This is their second possession of the second half. 8:12 to go third quarter. 36-0 St. Olaf with the lead. Here at Klein Field at Manitou, this home opener, 1-0 record for the Ole's, season opener for Luther. That pass is incomplete. That was intended for Peyton Snedden, a wide receiver out of California. Incomplete. Actually out of Idaho for his hometown. Home state. And a punting situation on a 4th and 7. McNerney will come in at the 30-yard line. A little look to the sideline.
And we do see Luke Crosby warming up on the track, so we can expect that maybe
Number 4, Metcalf.
Theo Doran's day might be done.
Punter Lillidahl gets the kick away. End over end. McNerney will pick it up and run with it to the 30, 35-yard line, and across the 35 to about the 38, where everything stops there. Hey, thanks to our crew, Sophia Villagomez, Bea Beeman, Nathaniel Olms, and Maggie Doran on cameras. Michael Meritz is on Steadicam. Awfully fun to get those shots. Replays are awesome. Grant Klebig and Alex Freihammer, director Jeff O'Donnell, and production assistant Tonko. Roy and Mark up here in the booth. Mighty 920, KDHL, Faribault, Minnesota. And from the 37-yard line is the start of this drive. 7:52, and Crosby is in at quarterback then. And Crosby, who comes out of Prior Lake High School, hands the ball off. That's Rob 2 on the carry, maybe to the 40-yard line for a 3-yard pickup.
Number 3, Rob 2 on the carry.
And it looks like the Oles have replaced the entire offensive line. And from what I can see, it might be all freshman offensive line for the Oles.
That would be Lejeune Campbell, number 71. Barth, number 62. Picard, number 70. Swedberg, number 79, and Krapinski, number 76. But yeah, if that's the, next up on the 2 deep list, you've got 5 freshman linemen.
And as you were reading those names off, the numbers matched with what I'm seeing on the field.
Fantastic. Teamwork. Here's a pitch on a sweep. And to the 40, and that's about it to the 41-yard line, tackled by Williams.
Shuka on the reverse. Good to see him get some playing time. Been in the program for quite a while. A senior that has seen very little playing time, but getting chance here today against Luther.
At a Janesville, Wisconsin, Shuka on the carry. It was about a 1-yard gain. 3rd down and 6 is left for the Oles. 6.5 to go third quarter. 36-0 St. Olaf on top of Luther. 3 down lineman for the Norse. Crosby on his first pass, throws it out left side, and it is incomplete. It was maybe just a tad bit underthrown. They were looking for Shuka, and a Luther player stepped in there and knocked it away.
And again, the only quarterbacks have a tendency to throw off their back foot instead of really stepping in and ripping the throw. That ball took a long time to get to Shuka from the point at which Crosby let it go.
Crosby, a 6-foot, 195-pound sophomore out of Savage and played at Prior Lake. And here is a punting situation for Swan. He stands at his... Well, the kick is away from the 30. Good player got in there and got close to it. It takes a sideways hop, and outside the 25-yard line is where Luther will start. They're going to get it at the 28-yard line, it appears. 6:18 to go in the third quarter. And Luther has their 3rd drive of the second half. They've punted on each of their 2 drives, and so far have been held out of the end zone. It's 36-0 Oles. Call it the 28-yard line.
Well, in this quarter seems like it's going a little faster than the first half. We talked about, really it was about an hour and a half first half, which you had the 20 minutes of the halftime. That's a 3-hour and 20-minute football game in Division III. That's very unusual.
Trips wide to the far side. Ball near side hash mark. The quarterback will run it. And Rose may have snuck through to the 30. It's at best a 2-yard gain. Might only give him 1. Receivers come both ways.
I was going to say, I think we need to get away from our 2-deep roster and go to the full roster to identify players.
Catch by Gonzalez. And Call helps finish off on that tackle.
Pass is complete to number 7.
I'm sorry. That was Elijah Short. Short on the tackle. Call is number 3. Short is number 4.
First and goal. 1st and 10.
First down and 10. Pass caught by Gonzalez again. And he picks up 12 yards to the only 45-yard line.
And some of the frontline players are rotating back in. We see Kroll come in, Gio Green coming in, Vasquez coming in.
5 wide, no running backs back there with Rose looking to put points up. Finds a player. It's Gonzalez again. Steps inside, and a couple of Ole's converge on him. That's no gain on the pass into the screen area. Krul and Thomas are among those that are there to make the tackle. 1 yard gain, I guess.
And now Barrett rotating back in. I'm sure Coach Killian and his staff would like to pitch a shutout here today on Manitou Field.
Running back there with him is McElroy. He's a junior out of Georgia. That's the running back lined up behind Rose, the sophomore quarterback. 4 wide receivers. Has a little bit of time. Now he's flushed. Running to the right. He will slide down in front of oncoming Ole's, and a matter of giving him, I suppose, 1 yard on that play. 3rd and long.
Well, one of the things that happens when you slide is it's when you start the slide, and I think he probably would have picked up another 2 or 3 yards if he would have just run out of bounds and avoided the slide.
No running back, 5 wide, looking left, and that pass deflected. That pass was deflected. Maybe Green, he puts his fist in the air in the middle of the field. Krul was there in the middle of the field for the Ole's as well.
I think it was McKell.
Okay, very good.
So in other words, the Ole's are dropping down defensive linemen into coverage and bringing linebackers. So for an inexperienced offensive line that Luther is featuring, a lot of complicated schemes the Ole's are presenting.
Reed Permuth has come into the game for the Ole's. He's a freshman defensive lineman. Permuth wears number 91, so he's out there with his hand on the ground. On 4th down, Rose and Luther going for it, and it is a sack on the play.
And it is Permuth.
How about that?
Grady Rose sacked on the play.
Looked like 61 Bonk is celebrating it pretty hard as he comes out. So Permuth might have been there, but it might be Bonk that gets it. Andrew Bonk, he's a freshman defensive lineman at South St. Paul.
I think you're right. 91-61.
Okay. Yeah. He was pretty pumped running off the field. So Andrew, nice job there. South St. Paul High. And the ball turned over on downs. So the Ole's get it at the 48-yard line of Luther. Crosby throws on the run. It's intercepted after it goes off the hands of the Ole player trying to haul it in. A double tap off of his hands, and then it is picked off by Ronnie Lemon Jr. And 36 is listed as a running back here on this chart out of Winona, but number 36 did make the interception for Luther. 3:48 to go, 3rd quarter.
At their 45-yard line.
And 45-yard line, their own side of midfield for Luther. 1 play after turning the ball over on downs, they make the interception. And the Ole defense is right back out there. 3:48, 3rd quarter, 36-0 St. Olaf.
And you kind of feel for Luke Crosby on that one. Ball thrown accurately to his fullback, bounced off hands, and defender there to intercept it.
Oh, great tackle for a loss.
That's Suazo.
There he is.
He's so undersized from a weight standpoint. He's listed at 180. I don't know if he's all of that, but he's very quick on the defensive line.
Out of New Orleans, Louisiana, Isidore Newman High School.
If he stays in the program for another 3 or 4 years and puts on the 40, 50 pounds that I would expect, he'll be an all-conference player in my mind.
Single setback pistol formation for Grady Rose. Takes the ball, looks to throw. He's being chased. He throws on the run. Caught, and then chopped down after a gain of about 5.
Rose completes to Damiani.
Damiani out of the backfield catches that for a 5-yard pickup.
And then it was Avila Tovalin on the tackle for the Ole's.
3rd down and 5. Under pressure and sacked.
Cameron Hammonds coming on I don't know if he's a corner or safety blitz, but unblocked to the quarterback. And that's one of the things when quarterbacks think they can slip an oncoming rusher. Usually they're trying to avoid somebody that's 6'3" and maybe 270, 280, and not real quick. Cam Hammonds at 5'7", and maybe even 5'5", 150 pounds he's listed at, but way more quickness than one of those big fellas.
Out of Brooklyn Park and Champlain Park High School, it's 4th down and 14, and Luther going for it. 2 minutes to go, third quarter. They're on their own side of midfield. The ball is loose. It's on the ground. Diving to it is Rose. The Olies are going to get it just outside the red zone.
Is that Mikkel, I think, on the strip sack?
Fumble forced by Olies number 98, Terry Mikkel.
Yeah, you got it right on, Mark. Mikkel on the play. And so that, actually, it'll count as downs. They lose the ball on downs because Rose recovered it himself. But the Olies actually are going to get it at the 28. I thought it was a little deeper. But at the 28 of Luther is where St. Olaf will get it with 1:59 to go third quarter, 36-0. St. Olaf on top. Neither team has scored here the Olies have scored once in the second half. To throw, caught at the 20 and inside the 20, and then engulfed by Luther players, but down to about the 16-yard line is going to be enough for a first down for about an 11, 12-yard gain. And Butcher, by the way, 89 on the catch.
It's first down and 10 for the Olies.
Butcher lines up on the right as the tight end moves over to the left. One of the receivers out there is Monroe. He is wide left for the Olies. Handoff to 2. Quick cut back by 2 inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line. And that.
2 on the carry.
And good adjustment by 2 on that one. Looked like he was going to go left, but cut it back to the right and picked up some additional yardage. Thanks to his offensive lineman in front of him.
And that line for the Olies, the freshmen of LaJean Campbell, Barth, Picard, Swedberg, and Rapinski. Under center this time for Crosby. Luke takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls to the right, throws on the run, caught right at the goal line. Touchdown!
Corey
Halida on the catch, and the Olies score.
Number 46, Corey Hayata.
St. Olaf 42-0 pending the extra point in the closing minute of the third quarter, 38 seconds to go.
And another case where a senior, 4 years in the program, Corey sticking it with it and rewarded today with a touchdown reception.
And a different kicker here as well with that.
I think that was Hess.
Hess giving it a try.
With 38 seconds remaining in the third quarter, score is 43.
So 43-0. 43-0 St. Olaf as Hess converts on the extra point. That only needed to go 28 yards after Luther was going for it on fourth and very long. On their side of things, and St. Olaf drives with 28 yards and a handful of plays and extends their lead to 43-0. Of course, as Coach Killian said, yeah, go ahead.
I'm not really surprised that the Olies ran a play to get Corey Halada a touchdown. Coach Killian told me one of the things they were hoping to do if they could kind of dominate the game enough that he could get some playing time is that they wanted to get him a touchdown. 4 years in the program and really very little playing time for him. Very loyal. One of those great teammate kind of guys that every program wants to have.
The return on the kickoff by Luther to the 25 and 30 and almost the 35-yard line. Corey Halida, senior running back out of Palo Alto, California, picking up that touchdown, catching that touchdown pass on the previous possession. That puts the Olies up 43-0, and Luther will start near the 35.
Is out for one play for Halida. 13 Luther, out for one play.
29 seconds, all that remains in the third quarter, 35-yard line for Luther. Last time out, they pretty much had all their same offensive linemen, and they do. Keep in mind, these guys are freshmen. Barkley, Baltieres, Cuelleda, and Tuttle. Pop is a sophomore, but they've got their regulars out there, although a new quarterback is now in. Throw is caught and then tackled around the 40-yard line. One of the tacklers that time was Bosch, linebacker you mentioned as being out there for the Ole's on occasion as it was. And this is Noah Millhouse. He's a quarterback. He's a junior out of Jordan, Minnesota. 5-yard gain on first down. 5 wide. He's in trouble, and he's going down. Gathering up at the legs was William Howell, although another player for the Ole's got him up high, so maybe that'll be a couple of players to get half a sack.
That's the end of the third quarter.
Yes, that is the end of the third quarter. St. Olaf has tacked on a couple of scores here in this quarter. And as we go to break, we're going to watch that sack get registered here. Bang, bang from each edge. Oh, it's Small on the other side that teamed up with Howell on that sack. And those fans and their pups enjoying the game here at Klein Field at Manitou. St. Olaf 43, Luther nada. We'll be back in a moment on the Mighty 920 KDHL, Faribault, Minnesota.
Federated Mutual Insurance Company is hiring in Owatonna and Mankato. Federated Insurance offers full training, competitive pay and benefits, plenty of room for growth, and an unmatched company culture. We are seeking talented professionals who are comfortable working with multiple computer systems and who have a strong attention to detail. No insurance experience is required. Join a company that values hard work and continues to thrive and grow. Learn more and apply now at federatedinsurance.com.
All queued up for the fourth quarter from Klein Field at Manitou on this home opening day for St. Olaf. The Ole's will be back here on October 5th against Hamlin. No game next week at McAllister, 7 p.m., 2 weeks from tonight. No game next week for the Ole's. Third down and long, a pass to the left. It's caught and up that far sideline, reaching for the sticks.
It looks like he stepped out of bounds about 4 yards short.
Okay.
Millhouse completes to Medrano.
Good effort on the part of the receiver.
Yeah, Medrano was that receiver.
Number 47, Ian Whittick.
And Ian Whittick, the freshman from Anoka, Tornado, makes that play.
It's fourth down.
And this is fourth down and about 3. And before a play, we've got a whistle.
Looks like a referee
Officials
timeout.
Timeout to adjust the chains.
Update from Collegeville. St. John's leading Wartburg 28-13 with about 7 minutes to go in the ball game, fourth quarter. They're already late in the fourth quarter, middle of the fourth quarter. And I think Wartburg still has an extra point to attempt. So assuming they make that, it could be
so fourth down and 3. Millhouse hands the ball off. Took a long time to get that handoff, and a host of Ole's will be there to keep that play from developing. Looks to me like Harris is one of the guys in on the tackle, but he had a lot of buddies in there with him.
Well, I think if Coach Killian could have written a script for today, it would be that the Ole's would take control of the game, let a lot of players play. I think the only downside in terms of today's performance might have been that some of those early drives that the Ole's missed making it on fourth down. They couldn't put in the end zone. They had to kick 3 field goals in the first half. Those are the kinds of things that he can harp on over the next 2 weeks getting ready for McAllister.
Handoff, new running back is in for St. Olaf, bangs his way down to the 36. That is
Brian Savi on the carry.
Brian Savi. Savi is a sophomore running back out of St. Michael, Albertville, 7-yard pickup.
And Savi runs with a little bit more size than Garski. More of a runner like Tu and Siegel Howard.
5'11", 195, the size for number zero, Savi. And he'll fake to Savi. Crosby throws out to the right side. Got a man out there. Its catch is made by Shuka for a first down to the 27-yard line.
Just a timing route.
That's an only first down.
Crosby threw that ball before Shuka made his cut, knew where he was supposed to be. They hooked up together, and nice completion.
So Shuka on the catch. And now 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line of Luther. Savi is set off to the right side of Crosby. Crosby gets the snap, drops, looks to his left, pumped once. Now he's rolling, sets up, throws downfield, man between coverage, catch mid. Shuka dives forward, touchdown! Eli Shuka, the senior from Janesville, Wisconsin.
And another player in the Ole program, a senior in the program, stuck with it. Been a great teammate all the way through these 3.5+ years. And now he is rewarded with a touchdown, just like Halla was able to do on the previous drive.
Shuka really fought to stay in bounds and dive to the goal line to get in. 49-0, and the extra point try on its way from Hess is good to make it 50-0 St. Olaf.
Hess is kicking good.
With 12:56 to go in the fourth quarter.
12:56 remaining.
43-yard drive.
You know, sometimes there are things that happen on the sideline that are probably as important as the things we see on the field. And that, I just noticed, Derek Hansen gave a real friendly pat on the back, pat on the butt to Luke Crosby, knowing that Luke is kind of the heir apparent to Theo Doran. He's played really well. It doesn't necessarily show that because of the interception on a tip ball, but statistically he's been very good for the Oles today.
And good to get that support from players like that, a leader on the team like Derek Hansen.
Yeah, I don't think between Derek Hansen and Theo Doran, at least on the offense, I don't think anyone has more credibility with teammates than those two guys.
Another angle on the Shuka touchdown. And once again, fun to get all that great video work by the gang at the video headquarters over on the other side of campus. 50-0 St. Olaf with 12:56 to go fourth quarter.
Video headquarters sounds like we're really professional around here.
I was trying to come up with a fancy name for it, and that's Skifter Hall is the headquarters spot for the video crew that does a fantastic job. And 29-yard line is where Luther will get to go working so well on the special teams tackle.
And not to demean the production of the St. Olaf football, basketball, hockey, volleyball, second to none in the MIC in my mind. And I'm not talking about the play-by-play or the color people. I'm talking about the camera angles, the replays, just a really professional level presentation that the Oles put on. Jeff O'Donnell, huge kudos to you.
He does a great job, and we hear about it from fans and parents when we're at the games. There's a pass to the outside. It's incomplete, intended for Glaspie. Glaspie's one of the guys for Luther that comes back after having 14 catches last season, but he really hasn't been a factor or been a target too often in this game. I think maybe he's returned some kicks. But this is a team that hasn't had a lot of success through the air, and certainly no points on the board. Still early fourth quarter. They've got time to try and drive it up the field, working with their second quarterback, Noah Millhouse, the junior from Jordan, Minnesota, former Hubman. Fakes the handoff, throws a dart, gets caught to the 35-yard line. Penalty flags rain in, 3 of them. Penalty flags fly. The play would result in a first down to the 40, an 11-yard pickup, but let's wait and see.
I have a sinking suspicion they may have found 77 was downfield on that play. Just strange that 3 different flags came.
Yeah.
We'll see what the call is.
Definitely
Number 43, Alex Holly on the tackle for the Ollies.
a little different to see so many flags. Alex Holly, a freshman from Minneapolis Washburn, credited with the tackle on the play.
And that actually has been corrected. He's actually a sophomore.
Oh.
He spent last year at Bethel. He's a transfer from Bethel University up in St. Paul. So there was an early roster that I don't think Michael was aware of.
Okay.
I knew that because James was very happy he had recruited Holly out of high school and was very happy that Holly decided that he'd prefer to play for the Ollies than the Royals. That doesn't happen very often.
Maybe it'll start a trend. I picked up these nice neon yellow roster over at the tailgate beforehand, and so that one I'll make that correction on the chart and have that for future times that Mr. Holly gets into the game, listed as a 5'10 linebacker out of Washburn, 220 pounds.
An eligible receiver, downfield, offense is declined. Pass interference, offense. It's a 15-yard penalty, second down.
That's why there was such a long discussion on the play, on the penalty. So 3 flags rain in on 2 penalties.
It really shouldn't take that long to figure out that.
Yeah.
I mean, you got 2 flags, both on the offense. What do you want? Do you want a 5-yarder or do you want a 15-yarder that allows for replay of the down?
And they're marched back 15 yards to their own 14-yard line.
Second down and 25.
Second down and 25 for Luther. There's 12 and a half minutes to go fourth quarter. 50-0 St. Olaf. And Millhouse from the pistol hands the ball off on 2nd and 25. A run to the left is strung out well.
Looks like Holly was in on the end of that play. Last Saturday at Northwestern, we had the privilege of sharing the press box for part of the game with Tom Peralt, who's the supervisor of officials for the MIC and the UMAC, and he was talking about how hard it is to find officials to cover these games. That I think he said last year to this year, he lost 12 officials, retired or decided they didn't want to continue. So that was 12 that he had to hire on a staff of 49. 7 officials and 7 games in normal weekends that he needed to cover. So kind of feel for Tom trying to run that program.
Third down and very long. Millhouse on the run. And he's tackled. Holly was among the players in there for the Ollies. Number 43 caught that number, but there's others there too. So is certainly retirements are going to happen. The otherwise attrition, is there a reason that people are hanging up the whistle after being an official?
Well, I think a lot are just reaching that age. They've been in it for a long time. I retired in 2008 or 9. I can't remember exactly when, but a lot of guys are sticking it out even into their 60s. I think I was probably mid-50s at the time I retired, but a lot of them have kind of stayed with it just to stay in the ball game.
So on a 4th and 12, they go for it, get the ball out to the 33-yard line for about a 5 or 6 yard gain, but the ball is lost on downs, and St. Olaf, who's already leading 50-0, is handed a ball deep in Luther territory at the 33-yard line. That's where St. Olaf will start this drive.
Well, kind of a strange decision on Coach Trochet's point of view, but I don't know if he has not as much confidence in his punter or what, but you'd think you'd try to make the St. Olaf second and third team drive more than 35, 40 yards for a touchdown.
Handoff, that's not going to go anywhere. On the play that time for the Ollies was Khalil Brown, freshman running back out of Minneapolis North.
Khalil Brown on the carry.
Lost about 2 yards.
And Khalil is an even bigger back, 5'9", 230, and has looked really good in some of the preseason scrimmages.
Loss of 1 on the play. 2nd and 11.
Torrey Pinckney Jr. is a receiver, wide to the left. Looking right is Crosby. His throw is a little out of the reach. of his intended target over there, which was Carter Folman, a sophomore out of Simley High School.
Well, Torrey Pickney coming out of Louisiana, New Orleans. I talked to him a little bit during fall camp and said, "You look like you're pretty fast." I said, "How fast are you in like a 100-yard dash?" He said, "I don't run track." I said, "How about the 40?" He said 4.327, which is NFL level speed.
Well, it'll be good to get him in some open area with the football in his hands. In this case, Brown on the carry. And the Oles had faced a third down and long. He picks up maybe, well, he's going to get down to the 29-yard line, leave them with a 4th and 6, it appears. 6-yard gain. 4th and 6.
4th down and 6.
He's a tough one to bring down. Packs a punch there, does number 45 Brown. So the Oles go for it on a 4th down and 6. Brown stands alongside his quarterback, who wears number 12, Crosby. Crosby to throw, has time, throws it, and that is a good catch with a defender blanketed all over him.
I think that was Peter Mollison. Yes, it is.
6, correct.
Crosby completes the
junior tight end out of Edina, Minnehaha Academy, Andrew's younger brother.
Younger brother of Andrew. We talked last week about Andrew in med school down at Creighton in Omaha. I don't know if I don't see him here with his parents, but wouldn't doubt that he might be tuning in on the live stream.
Yeah, hope it's going well for you, Andrew. As the Oles face a first down now after picking up the play. Brown, a spin move before 2 or 3 Luther players combine. One guy gets up, looks at his hands, and says, "How didn't I grab him?" That was Whalen, one of the starters, who heads off the field right now. He's one of the first players that Brown ran into in the process of about a 3-yard gain. Should be 2nd and 7.
Second down from the 18-yard line.
Oles are at the 18-yard line of Luther. There's 8:35 to go in the fourth quarter, 8:37 to go. And 50-0, Oles with the lead. A little high on the snap. Crosby gets it under control. Finds, is that Mollison again?
That's Mollison.
Upended at about the 11-yard line. That's a big 7-yard pickup for an Ole first down. They'll put it at the 12, but that's good for an Ole first down.
Crosby completes the
now coming into the game is Drew Dahl, a sophomore tight end out of Lake Crystal Welcome Memorial. And Mollison will exit the field.
3rd down and 1 for the Oles.
Oh, 3rd and 1. Did I say first down? My mistake. 3rd down and 1. 3rd and 1. And Crosby looks left, throws. It's taken, and Pinkney gets knocked down right after he catches the ball at the 11, but that should be good for a first down, although there's penalty flags down.
Yeah, I don't know. It would be like a push-off by Pinkney, offensive pass interference, or maybe a face mask. Looks like they're asking Coach Trochet what he prefers to have.
The spot of the ball, the play is down at
ineligible receiver downfield. Offense, number 83. It's a 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Well, apparently a wide receiver covered up number 83.
Bronsvold.
And he's actually a wide receiver.
Right.
It's strange. I think what we're seeing is a little mercy flagging, if we can call it that. We're going to pick on a formation kind of thing, on being covered up by a wide receiver.
Clock running, 7:35 to go in the fourth. Luther went for it deep in their own end. That's how the Oles got the ball so deep in Luther territory to begin with. They're knocking on the door now. Throw is incomplete. They were looking for Pinkney Jr., the freshman out of New Orleans. The quick guy, but incomplete.
It looks like the Oles might bring their field goal team on.
And who will be the kicker for this one?
It looks like Hess is out
Hess
there.
out there?
Hess is out there.
There we go.
And the majority of the front line, the interior 5 on the field goal and point after team, are largely that second team offensive line.
Okay.
Good chance to get them some playing time.
Good snap. Kick by Hess, has great distance, and that is through.
And it's good.
And that is going to be a third, maybe 34.
7:19 remaining. Oles 53, Norse 0.
And I know when I was at fall camp, some of the upper class players were kind of raving about Hess.
Okay.
Apparently at one of the practices when they were doing kind of special teams work, going pretty much live, he kicked a 52-yard field goal. Don't know that we can count on that completely every time that situation presents itself, but to know that you have that in your back pocket coming down to late in a game, that you do have a chance if you can get it down inside call it the 30-yard line.
It's about a 34-yard field goal in that case right there.
And maybe even get to the 35. That would be about a 52-yard field goal.
Partner of St. Olaf College, providing sports medicine services to Holy
Partners at BSN Sports, the industry leader in sports equipment and team apparel, proudly supports over 1,000 collegiate partners across the U.S. with the primary goal to support those who impact the lives of athletes on a daily basis. BSN Sports would like to thank all the coaches. While BSN Sports is the best at equipping athletes, coaches are the best at equipping lives. And that's the real final score. Learn more at bsnsports.com. It's 53-0 St. Olaf on the 34-yard field goal by Hess. 53-0. And the Olies are about to kick off to Luther. Bouncer that's taken inside the 20, out to the 30. And not quite to the 35-yard line. Whistles will blow as the momentum forward stops. And Luther, who has still been using their main offensive linemen, but again, they're young players, a lot of freshmen, so they're just getting them up to speed in their season-opening game right here.
Well, not only that, getting used to playing a college football game. You know, a high school game, I mean, we're, 52 minutes into this game? High school game would already be over 4 minutes ago in terms of clock time.
Jack Baxter is among the defensive linemen. We'll try and get as many names. The new quarterback is in for Luther. The handoff that time went to Henry. And Henry will get to the 36 for about a 3-yard gain.
Number 14, Liljedahl, now in at quarterback for the North.
And it looks like it was 13, Salmonson. I saw him on the tackle. And the new quarterback.
Looks like we might have a face mask, maybe.
Luther's backing up.
Or hands to the face, maybe.
Liljedahl is the new quarterback, comes out of California, and he's also the punter for the team, so he's been out there before. Still waiting for the announcement on the penalty marker.
Legal substitution, offense, 12 men. It's a 5-yard penalty, first down.
You know, when the referee's mic sounds that muffled and rough sounding, it usually means there's wind.
Good point.
And I'm seeing absolutely no movement on the banners above the top of the uprights. And not to complain for ourselves, but it is definitely hot and humid here in the press box.
It is a muggy afternoon. Thankfully, the sun has stayed tucked behind the clouds for the most part. Liljedahl will hand the ball off. Great job. Wow. Nice job knifing in there to get the play. And that was 39 that time. That must be Cyrus Jones then, right?
Yeah, that's Cyrus Jones.
Okay, Jones, who's a freshman linebacker of the Minneapolis Edison.
Line by number 39, Cyrus Jones.
So it's second down and long. Remember, there was a penalty mixed in there as well. Second down and 15, 6.5 to go fourth quarter. It's all St. Olaf today, 53-0. As we work toward the closing minutes of this game. Liljedahl will hand the ball off, darting to the outside. Oh, this is holding there by an offensive blocker, and more penalty flags rain in. It's about a 15-yard gain on second and 15, but there's going to be a penalty on the offense, I believe.
Yeah, I think what we saw is what the referee saw. That was 80, kind of grabbing onto the shoulder pads and didn't catch the player for the Olies, but pretty obvious call.
The idea that 2 flags were thrown, though, might be more than one penalty. Then you've got to sort things out unless they both are calling the same call.
I have to believe they're both seeing the same thing, especially since they moved one flag to match the other one.
Fair enough.
Holding. Offense, number 80. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Second down.
So they'll have a second down. It's second down and long. Penalties on this drive. It's been move forward, move back, move forward, move back. Spot of the ball is the 25-yard line. They need to get to the 43. Luther on their own side of midfield. 6:05 to go fourth quarter. 53-0. St. Olaf with the lead over Luther.
After the penalty, it's 2nd and 18.
2nd and 18 is how that goes up on the scoreboard. And on your screen, ball near side hash mark. Be Norse marching from left to right. Henry, the running back, stands back there with Lillidahl and takes the handoff and gets hit and dragged down immediately. And on that play, was that Andrew Bonk again?
Yeah, it was Andrew Bonk, number 61.
Okay.
From South St. Paul. We know who his head coach was at South St. Paul.
Uh-oh. Got me stumped.
That would be Manny Spreigel.
Oh, okay.
I believe number 3 on the all-time rushing list for the Oles and member of the Ole Hall of Fame.
Well, he's number 4 on the list now.
Number
Ole,
4.
Jordan, Leon, Clark, and then comes Manny on the list, right? Does that look right?
Who's number 5 though?
Number 5. I'm standing by him. Mr. Gelly is number 5 on the all-time list. There's a run to the right by White. Short gain. So Manny Spreigel, the coach up at South St. Paul.
South St. Paul.
Okay.
And I asked him, he was at the Hall of Fame banquet. You might remember he made one of the presentations of the award for Landsteiner, the fellow from Duluth who passed away of brain cancer, I think it was. Okay. Another reason for tackle cancer Saturday here at Klein Field at Manitou. But I asked him if he had any good players coming Ole way. And this was back in November, and he said, Bonk. He said he's like a qualifier in the state wrestling tournament for a couple of different years.
Oh, nice. Maybe I'll look that up between this week and next week, a couple of weeks. McNerney still in on punt returns, and he gets a pretty good positive return on that. This time Luther punted. They've gone for it on 4th down several times in this second half, even on 4th and long. And given the Oles some really, really short fields, this time they punt. But McNerney on a great return. He returned that a good 15-plus yards. And the Oles will start at the 40-yard line of Luther with 4:05 to go.
And you can see McNerney running it right toward the Luther sideline, right at Coach Trochet. And I'm sure Coach Trochet is saying, I recruited you 5 years ago or 4 years ago, whatever it was, and now I have to play against you.
Quarterback for the Oles awaits the snap from center. It's still Crosby. That's a handoff. And the running back for St. Olaf is Carter Olson.
Number 13, Carter Olson.
Wyzetta. He's a freshman at 5'10", 160.
And now they brought in...
Stop by...
3-yard gain, 2-yard gain, second down and 8.
Jacobo Escobar Rodriguez is now in at running back. Expect him to get a carry here.
This time Crosby will throw. Has a man wide open, but it's over his head. Pulling free at the end there was Carter Fullman, sophomore at Assembly.
Incomplete.
Now 3rd down and 8. You mentioned Hall of Fame, and that time is coming up here early in October. John Campbell, class of 2000, Horace Gant, 08, Emma Lee, class of 13, John Shanson, class of 10, Karen Schwartzbauer, class of 87, and the 1979 and 80 women's cross-country teams, October 4th for the homecoming and family weekend for the Hall of Fame event. 3rd down 8, kind of an awkward off-balance throw. The nearest player was Pinckney Jr., but that's incomplete and 4th down.
Pass by Crosby is out of bounds.
It looks like the Oles are going to go for it, telling Luke Crosby to stay on the field.
Bryce Frenzel has come in as a running back now. He wears number 35. He's a freshman out of Black Duck, Minnesota. So I think that's the player standing alongside Crosby, unless he's somewhere in a pass pattern. Looking to throw is Crosby on 4th and 8. He'll step up and run. He's got some room, but he's going to run out of room. There's a penalty flag down as well, as he was bumped down shoulder to shoulder by James Bradley for Luther. A penalty flag in the offensive backfield.
Holding. Offense number 59. Penalties decline. First down, Luther.
All right, Luther gets the ball. Holding on the Ole's declined. St. Olaf turns the ball over on downs. 3:15 remaining in the game. 53-0 St. Olaf. And Luther takes over from their 35-yard line.
Well, and the sun is coming out, so I think if we're not hot enough now, we'll heat it up a little more, Roy.
That's right. Any of the players who aren't sweating yet, that's going to change. And any player that hasn't played would be pretty rare at this point for the Ole's. I see Sam Brumbaugh as a freshman D lineman out of Academy of Holy Angels. He's on that D line along with 3 other defensive linemen. This will be a handoff, and looks like Kerber was one of those in on the tackle. I think 93 was right there as well. That's Julius Jones, a freshman from Breck High School, or the Breck School. And more subs coming in defensively.
3 minutes to go up at Collegeville. St. John's leading Wartburg 35-13.
Okay.
Johnny's making a statement today.
Yeah, that's a big number in their favor. We've also caught up to them if they have 3 minutes to go, because we're at 2:40 in this game. 2:40 to go. Lillidahl, the quarterback. His running back now is Kyle Moore. Pistol formation, motion by the tight end from the left to the right on this second down play. And Kerber's had a big game here. Josh Kerber makes another tackle.
Actually, the St. John's game is over.
Oh.
It's no longer on live stats. So,
well, they were way ahead of us, so I'm not surprised about that. Time-wise, they were. It started at the same time, but their pace was just a little quicker. Third down. Got whistles.
That's the 2-minute timeout.
A 2-minute timeout. We almost forgot about that. Hey, Allina Health is a proud partner of St. Olaf College, providing sports medicine services to Ole student athletes. Their sports medicine specialists help ensure Ole's are in peak condition and ready to play at their highest potential. Let them partner with you to unlock your limitless potential. Visit allinahealth.org to find a clinic near you. Remember, tomorrow, the Ryan Bowles service, funeral service, 2 o'clock at Bow Memorial Chapel. That will be live streamed as well here on the St. Olaf website. Men's soccer picked up a big 3-zip win over Bethany Lutheran late this week. Earlier this week, Shea Bechtel became the career points leader for the Ole's. They will be at Bethel on Tuesday, the men's soccer team, to open up MIAC play.
And kind of a side.
We'll have some highlights in the post game, so be ready for that. Fun to look back on the great work that the video crew has put together and get some highlights. And Mark, there's a lot of them on offense and defense and special teams. I'm curious to see which ones we get.
Well, especially you score over 50, you're bound to have a few offensive plays, but you throw a shutout thus far. A lot of defensive plays, too.
So coming off the 2-minute timeout, new to college football at this level, or maybe all levels this year. Back to pass as Lillidahl has some time, throws it through coverage. The catch is made, and up the field goes Dixon. He's tackled around the 35-yard line. Looks like Holly may have caught up to him to make that play, but that is a first down into Ole territory.
That was Whittick that kind of came out of nowhere to make the stop.
Okay.
Stop by 47, Ian Whittick.
To throw with an empty backfield. Caught. Tackled right away.
Pass completed to Kyle Moore.
Looks like Salmonson was one of those in on the tackle.
And Luther has all 3 timeouts left, so wouldn't be surprised if they start using them.
Timeout, Luther.
And you are right.
First timeout of that.
Right on the nose about that. as they take a timeout right there.
Second down and 3 for the
So next week in the MIAC, it's still non-conference games. You've got Gustavus at Stevens Point. Eau Claire plays at Bethel. Augsburg at Martin Luther. Minnesota Morris at Carleton. And St. Scholastica at Crown. Is there anything intriguing in those games for next week, particularly?
Not particularly. I guess... who's playing Stout again?
I think Gustavus at Stevens Point.
Okay, and that might be a decent game. Okay. Stevens Point typically has been kind of in the bottom 2 or 3 in the WIAC. So it'll be interesting to see how that one comes out.
Seeing the replay of that big gainer. And yeah, good closing speed to get there. But it worked out to be a big gain now from the 30-yard line of the Ole's. 1:26 to go. Still 2 timeouts for Luther as they try to break the shutout. St. Olaf held them to 7 points in a tight game in 2021. But a shutout on the board now. That hasn't happened in a while. Back to pass. I think that pass must have been deflected. And it's incomplete. 1:23 to go. A second down and short.
Concordia is playing out at Pacific Lutheran. They're leading 7-3 early in the ball game. That game started at 3 o'clock. It's probably getting later. I don't have the actual time left. Rockford and St. Scholastica tied at 24. That one likely going into overtime.
Lillidahl is changing his formation by going up and swatting a couple of his tight ends on the backside. Lillidahl awaits a snap here on a 3rd down play. He's back to pass. Being chased, sets it up, throws it down the field. Incomplete. Kind of off the back foot sort of attempt.
But actually, given the pressure he was under and the length of the throw, fairly accurate. It looked like it was a very catchable football for the Lutheran receiver.
Beret was the intended receiver. And it was incomplete. I think Harris was the coverage guy. So it's 4th down and 3, 1:16 remaining. 4th down and 3. Last chance for Luther to keep the drive alive or get points in a game the Ole's lead 53-0. Receivers, both directions. There is a running back there with Lillidahl, who sets up, throws the ball to the outside. It's caught. It'll be good for a first down inside the 25-yard line. And that's Beret who makes the catch, and a timeout, I think, was indicated for...
Yeah, Luther took an immediate timeout, knowing that the clock was going to start on the
timeout of the half.
On the ready for play. So Luther now down to 1 timeout.
And Will Harris is the one on the tackle. To mention that Hall of Fame grouping with a little more detail, John Campbell, involved in tennis, class of 2000. Horace Gant, football and track and field. Emma Lee, cross country, Nordic and track and field. John Shanson, class of 2010, track and field and football. Karen Schwartzbauer, class of 87, soccer and basketball. And the 79 and 80 women's cross country teams. And Friday, October 4th is the date of the ceremony and induction into the St. Olaf College Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and great honor for the 5 who've been selected to be inducted this year. Having served on the selection committee for now, I don't know, the last 4 or 5, maybe 6 rounds of inductions, that's an almost impossible job to do, because you're comparing great performances that really aren't comparable. How do you compare a cross-country runner to a football player?
Right. Great to get the cross-section of sports, of course, as whoever that ball was intended for, I think the player is saying, my bad, and that was Beret. Did not step back for it and looked over his shoulder as the ball whizzed by him. It's an incomplete pass from the 25-yard line.
And some of the selections become almost automatic once they're eligible. John Shanson, a national champion in the shot put and an all-conference tackle or guard in football.
2nd down and 10 for the North.
Yeah, really not much doubt on him. And I think he was like a 5 or 6 time All-American in the shot put.
2nd down and 10, 1:07 to go. Luther on the edge of the red zone. St. Olaf leads 53-0. Luther trying to break the shutout here. The sidearm sling. It's caught. Racing to the outside. His feet are upended from him.
And short of the first down, so the clock will continue to run.
Wilson on the tackle, the sophomore defensive back out of St. Paul Humboldt.
Down under 50 seconds, so kind of
Stop by number 2, Angelo Wilson.
The anxiety here on the Ole sideline is, can we keep the shutout intact?
3rd down and 5, 20-yard line. Lillidahl, the third quarterback to play for Luther. He takes the snap and looks to his left, throws it at the hash mark area, and incomplete. Popped as the ball was arriving was Beret. And I think on the defense, it was Chad Schul. Freshman out of Maple River, Mr. Schul.
And a shout out to Lars Prestman, offensive coordinator for Luther. Although they're not completing passes, I'm seeing combination routes and open receivers. I think once they figure out how to catch, throw the ball accurate, catch the football, they've got some good offensive concepts that I'm seeing.
4th down and 6. Former quarterback for the Oles, Mr. Prestman. 4th down and 6 from the 20. Rolling left. Has to throw it back against his body. Bobbled and held at the 10 and knocked out of bounds out there. Inside the 10 down to about the 8-yard line. That was Moore, the running back out of Milwaukee, that makes the catch. 17 seconds remaining. They've got a 1st and goal from the 8. Does Luther.
Chad Schul on the stop.
Schul on the stop. Fans are still into the game despite the lopsided scores. The Oles do everything they can to get the shutout, and Luther does everything they can to get that goose egg off the board. Lillidahl looks to throw back of the end zone. Incomplete. Coverage was Sawyer Chell, a sophomore out of Anoka. And the intended target was Grayson Ward.
And just a fade pattern down the sideline. Shell showing good awareness, taking the inside route away and kind of hip to hip with the wide receiver and aware when the ball came.
12 seconds. 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line for Luther. They're marching toward our right, looking to throw the ball. Now rolling right. Rolling, looking, throwing a dart. Was that caught in the end zone? It is good. It's a touchdown. I don't know that was the intended target.
It was not the receiver, and I wonder if he was really in bounds.
Yeah, Michael White III is the player that caught the ball. The ruling on the field is touchdown. On the field, they won't have the advantage that we have here looking at this replay.
Well, we can see it goes through the intended receiver's hands.
That was him right there. And then right behind that, boy, see what other angles we have. Of course, the Luther player says touchdown. We'll watch the extra point here first. 5 seconds to go, 53-6. Placed. The kick is on its way. It is up and accurate. So 53-7 is now the score. And Luther, in the closing moments, is able to get that 0 off the board. 5 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. So that from the Ole standpoint, wanting to get the shutout, that is a disappointment. Certainly the offensive output today is something the Oles will be excited about, building into the start of the MIAC season in 2 weeks with no game next week, but the shutout is off the board with 5 seconds remaining. And this game will come in at just over 3 hours.
For the most part, the last 3 years, the Oles have played pretty fast games because they were feeding the ball to Jordan Embry 25 to 30 times and sometimes 52 times a game. That keeps the clock running, and we've seen a whole lot of passing, but we've seen a lot of incomplete passes, too.
As a team, the Oles are 26 for 41 passing in this game between the two quarterbacks. Luther, let's see, for Luther, it's 15 out of 34. 15 out of 34 is well under 50%. Yeah, there's been a lot of stoppages from incomplete passes.
34 stoppages on incomplete passes and a host of penalties that took, I thought, an inordinate amount of time.
Fair catch called for by the Ole return man.
Clock operator, please.
Derek
5
Hansen.
seconds on the game clock. 5 seconds on the game clock. Thank you.
So Derek Hansen caught that. I was looking at that at the guy who caught the ball and thought that's one tall football player, but Derek is a tall guy.
Well, I think not knowing what Luther was going to do.
Sure.
I think Ole's anticipated maybe an onside kick or something like that. Probably put what they call their hands team out to receive that kickoff, knowing that they just wanted to make sure that they secured the ball cleanly.
So the Oles will get a snap off here to wrap up on things. And should be Crosby who is under center. He actually hands the ball off on the play rather than just taking a knee. Finally, the whistle blows on that carry.
That's the end of the ball game.
And that must have been Alec Mahoney, the freshman at Amana Medai, who gets a carry. Boy, the number of players that got a carry in this game or had maybe a pass thrown to them is going to be a pretty big number when those final stats are all added up, Mark.
Well, if you count the number of running backs listed on the St. Olaf roster, I think it's something like 12 running backs. Okay. And a lot of times they only go one back in the formation. 8 of the running backs are freshmen. And I think the Oles are still trying to figure out, and they kind of have a shortage of wide receivers. I think they have fewer wide receivers than running backs, and a lot of times they're in a 3 receiver and 1 running back formation. So I'm kind of surprised they haven't moved some of those more sure-handed running backs, especially the smaller ones, to wide receiver just to incorporate them, to have them have a chance with more playing time perhaps in the future.
53-7, St. Olaf defeats Luther today to improve to 2-0 on the season. This was the opener for Luther. They go to 0-1. Final meeting for at least a while in this series. I don't need to pause for a message on the Mighty 920 KDHL. And I know we're going to have a video montage of some highlights of this game coming up shortly. Do you want us to recap a little bit, or are we set to go with a look back on some of the highlights?
Well, I think the game can be summarized by a dominating performance by a St. Olaf team that's very veteran-laden versus a Luther program that is still trying to find its footing under third-year coach Joe Trochet.
Nope, just was kind of on air mentioning we'd be ready to go with a little video montage if you guys are ready, or we can fill a little bit with some other recap if we need to. All right, let's look back on the highlights of a big St. Olaf win. Good-looking snap. The kick has plenty of leg, and it is through the uprights. So that is the 36 of Luther. Back to pass is Doran. Lobs it in between coverage. Caught, hit, held on. Quarter. Doran has time, throws a dart, caught at the 10-yard line, sheds a tackler, and makes it down to about the 7. Blue numbers, blue helmets, handoff Daminini in the back. No, fake the handoff, pass to the end zone. Hansen waits for it, has it, touchdown, St. Olaf. 3. And fake on the handoff, pass, open, catching that is Hammonds. Hammonds trying to dance his way up the far sideline for extra yardage. Caught it around last week. Looking for a ball here for Hammonds. He catches it again. Deeks out of one man and got a couple extra yards as the other players converge down to around to the 15 and 20. And once again, the Oles making some very emphatic
at the line of scrimmage.
Doran looking for McNerney, catches it at the 30, down to the 21-yard line. And Fake Bear looking to throw. It is caught. Touchdown. And Fake Bear looking to throw. It is caught. Touchdown. 1st and 10. Handoff Gartsky, finds running room, far hash mark, down to about the 5-yard line.
They're there to intercept it.
Oh, great tackle for a loss.
That's Suazo.
3rd down and 5. Under pressure and sacked.
Cameron Hammonds Coming on
for it. 2 minutes to go, third quarter. They're on their own side of midfield. The ball is loose. It's on the ground. Diving to it is Rose. The Olies are going to get it for the most part. Lillidahl will hand the ball off. Great job. Wow. Nice job knifing in there to get the play.
Fully puts on his running backs.
Doran will keep this one, and Doran will take it in from a couple of yards out. And St. Olaf. All right, well, like we kind of alluded to, that there would be some offensive and some defensive and some special teams highlights to look back on from a 53-7 victory over Luther.
Yeah, looking at the stats, I think there must be a limit on the number of running backs.
Oh, on the program?
Who can carry the ball in terms of the ending stats.
Sure.
They can only list 4, and I think there are probably closer to 10 running backs who rushed for the Olies. Good ball game from Theo Doran, 20 for 29, 237 yards, 2 touchdowns, long of 37. Just a dominating performance by the Olies. One of those things where you look at time of possession probably is almost meaningless. Luther actually had the ball 31 minutes, the Olies 29. But the Olies 422 yards on 74 plays. Luther with one more play, 75 snaps for just 155, and a lot of it in that last drive that culminated in a touchdown. Just an outstanding performance. Great opportunity for Coach Killian to get a lot of his backup younger players into the ball game.
And the players serenading the crowd who is here singing them on to victory multiple times with all the points that went up on the board, 53-7. So the Olies are off for 2 weeks. They don't play next Saturday. They'll beat McAllister in 2 weeks on a Saturday night. What does it kind of mean to get a break here early in the season like this?
Well, I think it's especially important given the fact that now the Olies have coaching staff had a lot of film on some of the younger players that maybe weren't necessarily in the mix. Some of them showed up really well today and maybe pressing for even more playing time than they had today. And they can work their way through that in the next 2 weeks getting ready for McAllister.
All right, we appreciate the crew. Got Pete helping out on the KDHL, Mighty 920. Camera operators here at St. Olaf College, Sophia Villa Gomez, Bea Beeman, Nathaniel Olms, Maggie Doran, Steadicam, Michael Meritz, replay Grant Kleberg and Alex Freihammer, director Jeff O'Donnell, and production assistant Tonko. A great staff of folks, students and otherwise, that put together a great show, and we hope everyone enjoyed it.
Well, we enjoyed the ball game, and I think even better, fans of the Olies enjoyed the game today.
All right, McAllister is the next game for the Olies after a break. And by the way, Luther has Co-College, who was a runner-up in the American Rivers Conference last season, as their opponent next week. Well, for everyone here at St. Olaf College and for Mark, I'm Roy. The Olies rolled a victory over Luther. The final score, 53-7. And good afternoon from Klein Field at Manitou.